Mr. Creative Jams. You ready for me yet?
Why they so worried about where I'm at? I be where I be.
So, where was I? I had an ADHD moment. Where was I? Where was I, family? Where was I?
There's one group I don't apologize, and that's you trifling, filthy, drama-addicted, hate-filled, sensationalized content looking, trouble-making, rumor-spreading, gossip exploding Negroes.
This is not a government-funded activity. I have the right to discriminate.
Shut your ass up. You coon-ass niggas, I'm not being Mr. Nice Guy with you no more. Fuck you. Shut up or I'm gonna kick you off my page.
It only takes a little bit of white brainwash to activate the cool chip.
What you wanna do? You wanna box, nigga? You wanna street rumble or you wanna get into the intellectual boxing ring?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. That was the dumbest shit I heard all day.
I almost puked, but let me stay focused. I got a gut. That's all right. I can handle mine though, homie. You can believe that. That's right. Your ass lifting weights because it makes you feel equal. Cause you insecure, so you got to be all big and muscle bound. So you feel equal. Well, guess what? You can lift all the weights in the world and you'll never be 6'3", nigga. You can talk about my gut all day, but I'm sexy with mine. I'm fine. I'm cool in my skin. I can get rid of the gut, but you'll never be 6'3". I can get rid of the gut, Big Papa, nigga. That's why I'm Big Papa. I can get rid of the gut, but you'll never be 6'3".
And we're ready to go.
About time.
It is about time, man. What's up, y'all? What's up, man? Real quick. Take Home Podcast, Chris Classic, man. Oh, boy, listen. It might not be that bad. It might not be that bad. We got Dory, like, I know. Mr. He said, man, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Was listening to you, Fatty, Red Lipstick, the wife. Mr. She said, man, listening to y'all last night, man. That was dope. Good conversation. I never listened to Fatty's content, so it was interesting to hear y'all review some of the stuff he did. So that was cool. That was cool, man. Shout out to y'all this morning. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you at, which side of the line, Eastern, Central you on. Excuse me. We're going to get to it slowly. Excuse me. Still waiting on Bree. And I'm working with a different setup. So I'm going to be looking way over here, unusually. Like I'm gonna look like I'm not even paying attention a lot of times. But I'm using this TV over here. I don't have my second monitor. It's not here with me. So, you know, bear with me, people. But how you feeling, Yella? Yeah, Yella's in Central. Yeah, Yella's Central. I know. I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Yo, can you hear me?
Sound good, man. Sound good.
All right, yeah. Well, on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, what's the clearness sounding like? What we sounding like, chat? We good?
No, clarity is perfect. It's not big booming, metro booming, which is, I mean, it's good for me. But I don't know if it's because I don't have my volume all the way turned up or you don't have your volume all the way turned up. But you're clear. Again, you're clear. And you've got bass in your voice, which I know you prefer the bassiness. You don't want to sound nasally like me. But, you know, it's just not metro booming.
Sound a little more natural. Yeah, I want it to sound a little more natural. You know, we trying a little something, you know, a little something new, you know.
Okay, cool. Yeah. You clear, man. Appreciate it. Sounds good, clear. Your clarity, just not metro booming. I just don't know if, you know, you're not amplified yet. So that's all. But I appreciate it because, you know, your metro booming, your God level microphone was crazy at times. So just to let y'all know what we're going to be talking about when we get to it. There is a podcast called Got to Be Me. It is led by a very young group of conservative, and I don't mean politically conservative. I mean like religiously conservative biracial black women, maybe girls. They're very young. I don't know exactly how young. They're very young, 16 through 20, like is that young. But they had made mention of black women, and again, they're biracial, so they're black women as well. But they made mention of black women, and black women had a lot to say about that. So that's going to be the main topic, but we're going to get there in my own slow way. When Bree gets here, she said she'll be here in a minute. She said she's still stewing on something from the other day about this crazy lady. So we might talk about that for a hot second. And then I have like some questions to lead up to it. Because yeah, I know Yella has been running in this a lot. As a person of lighter skinnedness, and as somebody's, the world class called me light skinned. I never considered myself light skinned my entire life. But I got to the internet and found that I was light skinned. So as a newly minted light skinned person, I guess I now have to contemplate these things. So I don't know. I guess I don't know. I always thought I was kind of like mid grade. Like got those 3 gas grades. You got like 92, 87, whatever, 94, 92, 87, whatever it is, 89, 92, 90, whatever it is. I just use it. But anyway, I always thought I was mid grade. That I was like right in the middle, in the sweet spot. You got your milk chocolate, dark chocolate people. You got your, the middle butter pecan, whatever, blah blah blah. And then you got your light skin, the beige, the high yellow, as they say, passing, all them. I thought there was a spectrum, and I was kind of towards the middle. But if I'm on the lighter end, I can understand. I can appreciate it. I can respect it. So we'll have that conversation a little bit, but it's going to center around, when we get to it, it's going to center around 3 to 4 young biracial women who were kind of attacked by darker skinned black women for having an opinion when we get to it. And Yella hasn't seen this, but yeah, chocolate is nice. Chocolate is lovely. Dark chocolate, man, listen. One of the most beautiful women I ever saw was this dark chocolate woman. She was styled immaculately. Can't even remember her name. Worked with her once. Beautiful. So yeah, all flavors have beauty. All flavors have their positions of privilege and their positions of disadvantage. So the whole color conversation, colorism, I know is I can't think of that, but I know it's about the darker skin. Colorism only speaks to darker skinned people, the prejudices that they face. I don't know what the proper word is. Yella used it the other day, but it's not coming to my mind. But like for everybody, I can't think of the word. But prejudices, stereotypes. Just talking about like the treatment, like it would be like racism, colorism, but it's that word for all people. You used it, I can't recall it. My brain is just drawing a blank.
Oh shit, mine too.
Yeah. But we're gonna get there. So let me start with you, Yella. When did you know? And everybody in the chat too. And I know everybody in the chat is not black. Shout out to Dory. You're honorary oos. Why the bigger black activists always be light skinned? I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing too, for real. I consider light skin less an actual skin tone, but more an endonym for genetically half black. I like that. The name that the in group calls an endonym, endonym and exonym. Those words, endonym speaks to the in group name that people use to describe something. Exonym is like the out group name. So endonym would be like, we call ourselves light skins, dark skin, whatever. But the exonym, what like white people or Mexicans might call us, would be something totally different. But they might call y'all blancos because you're white, whatever. Because the names of different groups of people, in group and out group, that's endonym and exonym. Just quick definition thing.
Mulatto.
Shout out to Angela Davis and them. Yeah, Huey P. Newton. Let's go.
But yeah, I do want to answer that question though from Mr. He Said, because you kind of get that, and I think it's a double-edged sword that most of like the bigger black activists was always light skinned. Yeah, because I feel like we had more to prove.
Yeah, you got to prove yourself to the race.
Yeah, we had
crazy.
More to prove.
That feels like the pressure that's happening now too. Whatever.
Yeah, it is. Because I think when we was having the conversation yesterday, it was we was talking about a certain specific thing, and we was talking about how light skinned blacks are treated. But then it was the comment was, well, you gotta make space for dark skinned people, and I was like, there's been plenty of space made. Like the space is there.
Yeah.
The space, you know what I'm saying? The space is there. You just get in it. We don't need to like as black people, we don't need to make space for other black people to exist.
Yeah.
We black too, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they'll look at us crazy if we was like, well, y'all need to make space for black people, light skinned people to be a part of the. Then they'll try to find like every reason to exclude us out of the process. Well, y'all don't need to be excluded. I mean, y'all need to be included because your mom's this or your granddad's this. And, bitch, let's do a 23andMe on you. Let's go find the Smithingtons that's in your goddamn Williams ass bloodline, bitch.
Hold on, not too much on my girl Williams.
Okay, my bad. Williamson.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
Bree came in like, nah, we're gonna. But yeah, I get you, Dory, man. Respect, man. I'm African, not black for sure. I said honorary, man. You with us. You with us. You're amongst the people. I like the people who can be amongst the people and are not even intimidated or trying to instigate. So you know what I'm saying? You're just amongst the people. That's always a good place. Yeah, exist in commonality. That's what community is supposed to be. But we're seeing that amongst the black African American tribe, we're having some infighting, and it centers around color. Now, a lot of last year, people did not like us thing, not like us. So we were talking about race, culture, ethnicity, like where do we decide the line? But even within black African American descendants of slaves, now we have the color line. That civil war is being fought now. So people are having a hard time deciding who's who, what's what, and even culture, because it's like classy culture versus wretched culture. That's a thing. Women are talking about like we need to separate ourselves. So there's a lot of infighting. There's a lot of division in group. So we're gonna kind of talk about that a little bit. Yella, I don't know if you got to complete your thought on when did you know you were black and when did you know you weren't black enough. I feel like I interrupted you for some reason.
No, you good. I was talking about the leaders. Now the whole. So
yeah,
like,
when did I
know?
Yeah.
So I really didn't know because I wasn't told.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The kind of joke was that my pops is dark skinned. So like
okay,
my white lineage or my Jewish lineage, l'chaim, my niggas.
Shalom.
Or my Ukrainian heritage to be more specific.
Okay.
Come through my mom's side. So she's half basically. So when she's lighter skinned, I'm light skinned, my brother's dark skinned, and my pop's dark skinned. So
okay.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't told I was black, but of course you have this understanding of what white and black is.
Yeah,
just automatically built in, right? Because my thing used to be, well, me and mom's white, pops and my bro is black. This is young me. You know what I'm saying? Before I understood the
first concept.
Right. And then like me being around, kind of just being more aware of the people that was around me and like, okay, well, there ain't too many white people around me, and then folks had to kind of like inform me, no, man, you black. You know what I'm saying? You black, you know what I'm saying? And had to explain it to me as I got older, but there was this switch where that no longer became important.
Okay.
Like me knowing I'm black wasn't as important as other people recognizing that I am.
It was social currency.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Descendant of slaves.
Right. So it turned from me having to understand it to me almost having to show it or prove it sometimes.
Yeah. Black people had. Like I remember you told us a story before about white Kev, black Kev, and you being the white kid. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was from my own. That was from my own family.
Dang.
So you know what I'm saying. For those who ain't here, like I got a cousin that's born 20 days before me. So he on the 7th. I'm on the 27th of April, and we both named Kevin. You know what I'm saying. And at one point, our family was basically calling me White Kevin and him Black Kevin. And that just kind of showed the ignorance of the whole thing. Like I couldn't get no other nickname. We couldn't get no other nickname at all. None would have fit. Big Kevin, Little Kevin, nigga like half my size. You know what I'm saying? Anything besides the just flat out calling me white was crazy.
Yeah. All right, Dury. I know you said ask for the link. I dropped the link to the actual one that we're going to react to it in a little bit. Shout out to Von Bryan too. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. So I mean, I didn't have that experience, Yella, so it's hard for me to relate to it, but I can kind of understand because I saw a lot of. I can't use the word colorism. There's another word. Bree, what's the word for like talking about like prejudice and stereotyping against different shades of people? Because colorism is specifically for dark skin. But
No.
isn't there a word?
No,
by the dictionary. By the dictionary.
Colorism
like
is just dark.
It's
I mean,
in the
I guess
dictionary.
if it's anything besides like actual textbook colorism, then I would just think it was implicit bias.
Okay.
Probably a bias that mostly exists with amongst Black people adjacent to colorism. I still would call it a colorist bias.
Yeah. It's a
not
colorist bias. And I think Yella, the word, and it's a very old word, Yella, I think just bigotry. Just bigotry. The bigotry I experienced inside of my own family about shades of color because I'm one of 3 siblings. We have different fathers. We have different shades. Then came my nephew, who's the lightest of the 4. So out of me and my 2 sisters, one sister would what a lot of Black people would call, I say both sisters. Both of them would be called like red bone-ish. In the 90s. The way we call red bones are all lighter skin now, but they actually have a redder hue to their skin. They actually have a redder tint to the brown in their skin. Kind of like the way Bree looks right now. One of my sisters has that kind of complexion where it's kind of reddish mixed in with the brown, and she turns like a fuller brown in the summer. Then my other sister is lighter, but she has a reddening that happens at certain times of the year. So there's that thing, and their hair in the sun during the summertime, their hair will start to get a little bit more brown in it without any coloring added. The sun will just kind of bleach it a little bit. Mine didn't do that. So I perceived myself as the darkest sibling, but I found out recently I'm not brown skinned everybody. Some people call me light skinned, but then my nephew came around. And he's almost to the passing level. People will think he's, depending on how he's dressed, would think he was Italian, would think he was
like Bruno
Asian.
Mars cousin or something.
Yeah, he's a Bruno Mars. He's a Bruno Mars. So people have thought he was a lot of different ethnicities, depending on how he was dressed and who he was around. So he had the most social, I guess, sway and latitude, but he also had he might have been the most racist. He might have been the person that was most like, if it ain't Black, it's whack. He might have been. It's the funniest thing. The Huey Newton, Angela Davis thing. He had a little bit of that. So it was kind of interesting, even in my family. But my eldest sister was called by my mother a mustard baby because of that yellow or lightened tint. So that took her in her adulthood. She felt that. It came up in conversation. So it impacted her in some emotional way. Then my nephew came and he was the light bright. So I don't think he ever took that in any kind of, he's never mentioned it. I don't think it bothers him in any kind of way. But you never know how things are going to land on people. And because I never felt anything about my color, I never felt dark enough, but I never felt light skinned. So it's interesting. Because all my aunts, my uncle, my mother, they are chocolate. I love their skin color, but I never had it, but I also never felt deficient because I did. So it plays differently with everybody. Shout out to Kenny Mixes. Same argument to say non-FBA. It's invalid in the Black discussing. Not gonna lie. Okay. I remember watching the season of College Chill when they were in the Virgin Islands. There were 2 light skins and one was lighter. The dark skins told him to shut his light skin ass up. Man, there's nothing like being comfortable in your own skin. That's facts. That's fact. So I wanted to ask you, Bree, what about you? Like, I know you talked about it not through the lens of color. You had experienced it more with the lens of culture. But when in your sphere did you know you were black? And when did you feel, and how did you feel not black enough? Like, how did that land? How did that hit you?
I kind of grew up, like, I'm from Atlanta. I'm from like the hood in Atlanta. So I don't think I ever had a moment where it was like, oh, I'm black. And then I'm pretty brown skinned. Like, I'm in the middle. So I've never had any of that stuff. I mean, there were always light skinned girls, obviously, you know, people like the good hair and stuff like that. But as far as like within my own family, everybody's about the same tone. As far as my mom, dad, my brothers, my oldest brother is dark skinned. But you know, we were all kind of weirdos. Like, my family's just weird. So within the family, we never had any weird like dynamics about it. Like, we knew our roots. My mom's side, they're like Alabama Indian, you know, so like we kind of always known our background. My dad's family literally descendant of slaves from deep South Georgia. So we kind of always known our roots and where we came from, and they are indeed very black roots. So I don't think we had as much of that in my own family. As far as my own kids, we always joked to my husband, like, you look half Filipino or something like that. So we kind of make fun. I mean, we just have the cultural jokes. My youngest, like with my husband's family, every child has one light-skinned child. So usually the oldest child is light-skinned. I don't know why that's the thing. My husband's grandmother is part Cherokee, and she's very light. So it's probably her, because his granddad's very dark. But everybody has one light-skinned child. I myself have a brown-haired light-skinned child. Yeah. So I don't know. She is like brownish, reddish hair. She a light bright. She be acting light skin. That's kind of what we be saying. So that's that black culture thing. She be acting real light skin sometimes. She's you know, also a Leo. So you know, she got a lot of big energy. But yeah, so but nothing crazy. Nothing like, I don't really feel like it was colorism. I never had this arrival that I was black. I went to a predominantly white school after 4th grade until about 8th grade. So it was like 6 black kids, me being one of them. So it was a thing where all the black kids kind of grouped together. Obviously, when people started dating, the black kids dated. I mean, people dated across races too. I always liked everybody. But you know, but it was a pride with being like the only 6 black people. Like, it was kind of like we were the keeper of blackness at school. So like, we kind of had our own thing. Like, we had better rhythm, and like when songs came on, we were like, it didn't become an inferiority thing. And because it was a school for high achievers, so it was a school for gifted kids. So even though we were the only black kids there, we were very intelligent kids, because you literally could not go to the school if you didn't have like the you know, metrics to be considered a high achiever. So it wasn't like it was a very like, the school had money, like it was in a nice part of town. So even though we were black, we didn't have, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have like an inferiority complex about our blackness at this school. So even though we were only so then when I went back to my home school, like, I left that school system in 8th grade, went back to the schools in my neighborhood, which were hood and ratchet, and that was fun for me. But people called me an Oreo because I didn't sound like the rest of the people, because I had been going to this predominantly white school for a while. But y'all hear me? I'm not super proper, but I was proper enough, because I went to school with people who sound like Gucci Mane and like Future. Like, those people are from my neighborhood, crime mob. So to them, I sounded white. But I didn't care. I took it as a badge of honor because they were stupid. So
I'm with that. That's a battle a lot of us have had to face. Like, Jason, shout out to What the Funk, Jason, in the building, man. I know the title. I know. I just like, you know, every now and then I got to do something like to troll somebody. Like, every now and then it's in my soul.
It works.
It works. Yeah. We just had 20 people in here a minute ago. So
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I get
and it's gonna pay off too, because I know me and Yella can start saying ignorant shit. So
I get to say
I definitely be saying ignorant shit about who can comment on black people. So you gonna get what you came here for.
Yeah. So real quick, why don't you explain the they were acting real light skinned thing? because I know what that means in the way I've learned to receive that. But what does that mean when you say it? She acts real light skin. What does that mean to you?
It's just like main character syndrome. That's probably the more modern terms to describe it.
Okay.
In my opinion, because a lot of times the light-skinned girls, especially, like, were always sought after and like more attractive because they had the good hair and stuff. So a lot of times, like, you know, when people talk about AKAs, like the light-skinned women are used to being the main center of attention, like the highest level of attractiveness. Now, when you're talking about a kid, it's not that, but it's just kind of like when I said about my kiddo, it's just like she being real main character syndrome. Like, she'll go to the school and be like, I'm not here to do work. I'm here to play with my friends. And she would tell her teacher that. And like,
that's not what I'm here for.
That's what's gonna happen today.
Yeah.
And
you're here to serve me.
Right. That's big light skin energy.
I love it. Okay. Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. So Yella, as somebody that most of us would consider light skinned, when you hear that terminology, how does that land on you? Does it impact you? Does it hit you? Or does it like, I understand what people mean? Like, how does that run through your filter?
I mean, part of me understand what folks mean in a sense, but at the same time, yeah, it kind of, you know what I'm saying, gets on my nerves a little bit because we definitely can't be like, look at him acting all darky.
I mean, because we do have dark skin. We got them too in the culture. I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying, right? So if I was like, look at him acting all darky, you know what I'm saying? Look at him. Look at him,
but it is a thing within our culture, though.
Night skins, you said.
Yeah.
What you say? Night skins?
Niggas with dark skin nigga with black Air Forces.
Yeah.
That's like a double.
But see,
double
we
down.
only
That's
comment
like
on
double
the shoes, though. You see what I'm saying?
But it's still
we
dark
only say
energy.
black Air Force energy, though. Right.
Right.
We still say we still just kind of minimize it to the other adjectives.
Right.
We ain't gonna be like, yeah, that's what dark skinned niggas do because they'll be the main ones. What do you mean? That's what we do. That's what y'all do. And you talking about main character energy? Oh my God.
I will say that doesn't apply to, I would say being light skinned the way I describe it, that applies more to the women. I think light skinned men have a different light skin thing. It's like fuck boys, pretty boys, soft within the culture. If you talking about a light skinned man, you gonna get that. I think if you talking about a light skinned woman, you talking about main character, she the center of attention, she uppity, spoiled kind of thing.
So real quick in the chat, y'all in the chat, I want to know what y'all think the men equivalent and the woman equivalent of the attributes of a light skin and a dark skin. Like, what are the, not necessarily, you ain't got to put this coming from you. I don't even care if you're not black. I want to know what are the ideas that come to your mind when somebody say, oh, that person's light skin or that dark skin. What are the things, the stereotypes, the words, however you want to put it in your head that maybe your friend, what would your friend say? And they said that person was light skinned. How would your friend describe that person? So like, I just want to know what y'all think. But I want Yella and Bree. So like we said, like the light skinned woman, the pretty privilege, the main character energy. It's about me, entitlement, the AKA, the white light skinned man, soft or pretty boy, blah blah. So like, what are there other attributes, traits? Like, are there other qualities that we ascribe to these like characteristics, light skin? And then what about dark skin, women and men? Like, what do y'all think?
Okay, dark skin. I found that there's not as much, like Yella saying, like because of colorism, like even like you were saying, in colorism is a skew against dark skinned people. So I think because of colorism, there aren't really anything that people are comfortable just completely saying about dark skinned people. I mean, there were things that were said about dark skinned people, but they were all negative because he's saying main character syndrome. To me isn't necessarily a negative thing. So there's, with dark skinned people, I think there were only, like, growing up, people would call them all kind of stuff, African booty scratchers.
Yep. That was a big one. That was our main jam, African booty scratchers.
Calling them blue, calling them
the
black.
BDBs, midnight blue, black, midnight black, purple black.
Yeah. So I mean, they definitely had their
shadow
stuff. But as far as like an archetype of blackness, I don't think it exists kind of like the light skin. It just like you would get roasted if you were dark skinned and you weren't desirable, I think.
I hear you. I would say, though, that there are archetypes that in my life, there have been archetypes for brown skinned people. For the brown skinned people, the darker you were, the more aggressive, you were thought to be, male or female.
Right.
The darker skinned black men were going to be more inclined to be like a crash out,
Them niggas
ready to fight. Yeah, Thundercat. And then women were the angry black women. If you thought if somebody threw out the word angry black woman, what you thought was a brown skinned black woman.
Right.
Yeah. So there was like, like everybody got roasted. That's the thing about being young.
Black culture gonna roast everybody.
Yeah, everybody gets roasted.
Yeah.
But
everybody get roasted in black.
Shout out to Gina Houston for being in the building. Appreciate you.
Everybody got smoked.
Shout out to the light skin. See, look, that's what I'm talking about. We done brought out the light skin folks. Shout out to Gina coming in all light bright over there. Shout out to Jason coming in all light and bright. I've seen Jason.
Brian, your light skin, the light skin coalition.
The sun is up, y'all. See, the sun is up.
The light skin coalition that came out to support Yellow.
Shout out, man. Shout out to y'all, man. For real.
Right, I had to send out the light skin signal.
And another one I heard, another one.
Yeah, it's a bad signal for light skinned people, but it's just a picture. I'll be sure.
Is it in reverse? So, no, the bat is in light. The bat is in light. As far as it's dark and outside, but the bat is actually light.
It's outside.
The bat is light. Yeah, it's inverted. It's inverted. Instead of the dark bat, it's a light bat.
Y'all crazy.
But another one, we talked about it really quick though. We like the need to be extra pro black, like the militant, like
they always
you gotta prove your blackness. It's kind of like the Napoleon syndrome of shades.
Yeah,
like I'm not high enough up the spectrum, so I gotta fight my way up to prove I'm black.
Overcorrection.
Right. Yeah, and I would say there's seen a sense of entitlement on the light skin side and a sense of victimhood on the dark skin side. You're prone to think that the darker skinned person is going to play victim. For whatever reason, that's just something that has come up in my life. Like, it's not verbalized, but people are not tolerant of excuses from darker skinned people. It's automatically assumed.
I think also the reason that the people who maybe are a little bit passing have that thing, because I think they actually have more of a experience with their being confronted with the reality of blackness for them. Like Yilla's talking about, like people who can kind of pass and maybe walk in a room and people are like, kind of, are you one of us or not? I talk about this with Amanda Stein. Is it Steinfeld or whatever her name is?
Amanda Steiner,
the actress
yeah,
who played in like
Seals,
Star
but
Wars.
Steiner, yeah.
Not Seals, but like because they can sometimes because of one parent, they may be cross cultural, they may be around other people.
Amanda,
and then,
sorry, that's what.
Yeah, then that's where you're confronted with your blackness versus people who are just like black and around only black people. It's kind of like moot that you're black. Then it becomes more about skin tone when you're amongst your own people versus those people who can pass or who are around other cultures. They're going to be confronted more, I think, sometimes with blackness than people like me are, who grew up in Atlanta around all black people in our own neighborhoods. Like, I do think that that's why a lot of times they take the activist role, because they have a different relationship with it. And they actually maybe have a better understanding of how their blackness affects them than people like me.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's almost like a heightened awareness of it. Like we are the ones who actually have to struggle with being black and not just have the black struggle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I kind of see what you're saying. It's an inverted struggle.
Yeah.
You got the struggle for the privilege of being part of the struggle.
Right.
They
do.
While everybody sees you as privileged and not having the struggle.
Right.
That's interesting.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's like psychosis.
But I think that's what Amanda goes through as an actress, because she's in her situation too. She's affluent. Like she's in circles with white people who probably remind her all the time that she's black. But then like when she's black, the black people are like, you not black. And you definitely not black enough to understand struggle like us. So they reject her. So, I mean, like Yella's saying, I think that's probably why they get into activism more. I think they have a different understanding of it.
Yeah, I get it. Because you're not outside and against it, and you're not inside and with it. You're like in this third position where you can kind of observe. I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Anthony Fournier, man, shout out to you. Go Yellow.
Not saying the best kind of position, right? But
It's just a different perspective.
you would think almost the optimal position, right? Because sometimes the best place to watch the games is in the stands.
Yeah. Like a go between.
You know what I mean?
You can see the full floor, the full court.
Yeah. And for better or worse, that's probably why a lot of the activists were lighter skinned, because they were actually put in a position where they could be heard.
Mm-hmm.
They was almost tolerated by the white folks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that's
messed
and I
up.
know that's gotta suck. Yeah, I know that's gotta suck.
Yeah.
I know that's gotta suck.
But they became a mediator almost, because it's like there's enough whiteness in them to be human enough to speak up.
That's sad.
To actually be heard, to actually be heard to speak up,
right.
But then it's
still
like
not
a
feel
resentment
representative
of
the group.
It's still and it's still a layer of resentment of being to having that ability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it don't matter if there's no layer of using it for good that would make up for the fact that I was black but born lighter than the people that I'm a part of.
Yeah, I get that. Shout out to Marcus. I think I said that when somebody else was talking, man. Shout out to Marcus, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to Anthony Fournier. Appreciate you coming in. Having a conversation about the Got to Be Me podcast in a minute, but we're kind of leading up to it with some questions. I want to get the experience of the people here. We got Yella and Bree. Something I think about often, like in culture, in this society, in American society, I feel like Black people, because of the lack of social supports that are specific to Black African Americans, like we serve as a canary in a coal mine, because we don't have as many community supports. Like we don't have a broad, cohesive community that supports each other. So when there's something negative, like an adverse economy or the pandemic, when something like that hits, it hits us harder and faster because we don't have a lot of the safeguards, the structural safeguards. So we're like the canary in a coal mine for the broader society. But I think that principle can also be inverted when things are going and progressing. So we can look at white society and see, as Black people, we can look up at white society, see how they're farther ahead and see what pitfalls they're stumbling into. Like there's a large level of divisiveness and hatred in white Americans. And I think as Black Americans are progressing and getting some level of comfort and ability to be independent and don't need each other, especially we hear in the gender conversations a lot of times.
Yeah, they did that so long ago. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That's when they was doing their thing. That's right. You know how old that book is? Like, that's when they were doing this.
And we're hitting that as a culture. Right. Like again, we had those conversations from the 60s when people were struggling with it, but the broader based, we need to deal with this, is kind of landing now after white people have kind of dealt with it and are still trying to deal with that. The outcomes of women's lib and all that stuff. Now Black people are kind of struggle with that, wrestle with it later on. But we can see how divisive politics has become, economics has become, relationships has become, religion has become. We can see that in their grouping. And we're following suit because we're behind in progression. For whatever the reason, that's not part of this conversation. We know what the reasons are, but we're behind in development and we're coming into those problems now. Like we're coming into that, but we can see how divided things are getting. So I'm looking forward and like, okay, we're going to have infighting. It's going to get bad. Like everybody automatically thinks things are just going to fall into place. I don't think there's a magic falling into place. No. I don't believe that this happens.
Because what is falling into place? I think people disagree about what falling into place will look like. I think people were just like, oh, well, I'll learn to work together. If I hear one more group say, oh, we need to work together, it's probably not going to happen. That's not the outcome that will more than likely happen.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Sensei Weez in the building, man. Appreciate you for popping through. And what now? We got Yossi in the building. What now? 23G. As a dark skinned man, I always have to prove I'm more dark skinned than other dark skins. See, and no matter what end of the spectrum you are or somewhere in the middle, there's always something that you have to prove. And it's sad that we do that to each other. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in-group social proofing that we require of each other. But I wanted to just talk about that kind of struggle because I see like an internal struggle. I hear people talk about the FBA versus ADOS because they don't agree. I hear the word, I've been called a tether. I didn't even know what that was when I first got called a tether.
People just be calling people tethers and don't even be knowing that.
Yeah. I mean, because from what I understand, y'all can correct me. A tether is somebody who's from another country but presents themselves as an African American. If I'm not mistaken, everybody in my history is a descendant of slaves, to the best of my knowledge. At least,
so you're not
at least 5 generations of genealogy. That's my understanding. I can go back.
My understanding
like
the tether is just kind of like a black passing person, Black American passing, or maybe they got here within the last 2 generations or so. And
thank you, Miss Gina. Appreciate
they're
you.
saying they're black, like Black American, but
their
culture is somewhere else. So they tether to blackness when they get over here.
Yeah.
They tether to blackness to have the benefits of blackness. But they have
but not the got you. And that's what I thought. And when I see all that and the immigrant struggle to assimilate and acculturate, and then also now you have biracial, multiracial groups of people, and we're infighting. I see those as factions that are kind of splitting up. Like all the most successful, like as far as peaceful countries, are homogeneous. Like they have the same makeup. They have the same kind of belief structure. They have the same genetic structure, phenotypes and all this. They're more cohesive socially. Now you see how America is splitting amongst all these different groups, tribalism. Now black people have enough tribes to have tribalism. Like, so we're at that stage of development where we have enough separate tribes to be tribal in group. Like, I feel like we're at that stage of development. So I'm worried about that. I wanted to talk about this tribalism split because we talked about the race, culture, nationality, and ethnicity last year when Not Like Us came out. So we tried to delineate that. We had the whole thing about phenotype. We had the great falling out. We had the great falling out.
The 3 days and 3 nights fallout of Not Like Us. It was quite
crazy.
epic.
It was. I mean, Cynical Optimist, thank you for stopping through. From my reference experience, light-skinned folks or us mixed folks have a different psychology, especially if we grew up or were raised in multi-ethnic and multicultural environments. I can believe that.
Yeah.
People just name call. So I wanted to start here because this lady was somebody I just came across. Algorithm just dropped her in my lap, but she talked about something. Before we get into the main thing, the fallout from the Gotta Be Me podcast, I want to talk about this real quick because I think it's something that's adjacent. Let's see. Give me a second. Where is? Sorry.
Been harassed the entirety of my.
Can you turn it up a little bit? It's really
Maybe.
quiet. Yeah, I think it's not all the way up on YouTube.
It would.
Even before I was some.
See, Bree, look what you did.
I
hate how StreamYard does. I should have downloaded it, but I wasn't thinking. I forgot about the StreamYard effect. StreamYard makes all the YouTube videos.
They like go slow for you?
Yeah, only on StreamYard though. If I take it down, it typically plays. Hold up.
Well, worst case, you can have me play the clip if it's short.
Yeah, got it. Let me bring it back in.
I have been harassed the entirety of my online career, even before I was somebody and I had no followers. I was literally nobody on the internet. I was harassed just because I'm a Black woman who dares to take up space. And I got to be honest with you, it hurts the most when it comes from Black people. And that happened before I even got online, right? From members of my own family would make fun of me for the way that I talk or the music that I listen to or where I go to school or where I dress. I was just never Black enough. So then to get into adulthood and build a career where I talk about race and identity and advocating for marginalized people, and I'm harassed and attacked by bigots and white supremacists, to then have other Black people say that I'm not Black enough because my ex-husband was white is nuts. And yeah, it's really hurtful. It really sucks. But one thing about me is I keep receipts. And you can look me up. I have a long documented history of centering Black people, especially Black women. Mm-hmm. And if this most recent situation has taught me anything, Black women don't play about me.
I didn't need to play that whole thing. It was kind of the part about she had the white husband. Her name is Francesca Ramsey.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Francesca Ramsey. I don't even know why she came across my algorithm. A shout out to Von Bryant, who asked the question, who is she? Francesca Ramsey. I don't know what that means. I don't know who she is. I had never come across her before, but once you get like 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 people, everybody thinks they're famous. But it's like 100, 200 million people still probably don't even know you. It's the strangest thing. There's artists who have millions of dollars, like millions of record sales, who I've never heard of before. That whole thing with Babyface, and there was some person that got like they shaded Babyface for this other group. Chapel. I had never heard of that person before, and they're famous enough to run off from Babyface. But
she probably just needs notoriety, where she's got enough of a following
in
to
her
be
group.
considered an influencer.
Facts.
Right.
Anybody that wants to finish the video, I'm dropping it in the chat now.
The smallest big number of stardom is an influencer.
But she had talked about that she had got attacked from the outside, racism, understandable,
right?
Racism, sexism, understandable. But then she said she got attacked from in group for being vocal while having dated or married her ex-husband was a white person. So I wanted, because I brought this up the other day, but we were on Twitch. What do y'all think about that? Because that does come up a lot. You know, we got Umar in the corner. You know, black women forever, snow bunnies never. Black women forever, snow bunnies never. What do y'all? Does that disqualify somebody from being able to speak up and for black people?
Not if they black. Like, I just feel like if you're black, you're black. Like, if I was married to an Asian white person, am I Asian now? Am I white now? Yeah. Am I anything else? Like, no. I mean, she is black. Like, she's black. Like, her parents are clear. Like, she's a black woman. I don't even be like, where's she from? You know me, because I don't play. I'm like, where's she from? She got an accent. We don't listen to people from the islands talk about Black American experience. So you know me, and she's the black woman in me. Even if you went to a white school, I went to a white school, like, I just feel like you're still black. She's a Black American woman. She's clearly had a Black American experience. Even if she's into alternative subcultures, she still reads as black to me. So I don't think the person you're with makes you less anything, because that's just dumb.
Yeah, it may not make you less of the thing that you are.
Right. It can't make you less of what you are.
But it speaks to your decision and priority or your values.
Right. But she's into alternative cultures, right? So, like, to me, it can make sense. But also, you're not only what you do. You're not what you do. That's true. Because growing up, when you're in the black neighborhood, because you stay with your black parent and you're having a completely black experience, even if you listen to NSYNC or some other shit, like, that still forms who you are. So at your very core, you're still very much so black, and you can choose to enjoy other subcultures and still understand you're very much so that you're black. So I would have to know more about her background. Like, did you grow up in an all white? Yeah, like if she grew up in like an all white neighborhood and she was like the only black girl, and like she never was around, then I would kind of say, well, do you really know enough about the black experience for the people maybe you're speaking for to say it? But at the same time, then she would have something more like Yella's talking about light-skinned people having, which is, well, now I have to struggle with my blackness more because I'm only around white people and I'm clearly black. So I don't think you could take any of that away from her. I mean, to me.
What about you, Yella? You feel the same way? See a lot nod.
So because my common sense brain is like, yeah, for sure. Like, you black because you black. Like, we look at you, we see black. We saw you was black before we knew your ex-husband was white.
Right. She got the braids and everything.
Yeah. So I get that. But, you know, I do have to throw my little dirt and shade where I got to. So let me go ahead and salt bay that out.
Let's go
real quick. Let me go salt bay that out real quick. Yeah, the contradiction do become real funny when there are situations where, you know what I'm saying, there's this call out of people that are mixed, and then you do have these really pro-black people who marry white people, and in this crazy way, it is kind of like contradictory, right? So to bring up the best example, the best most recent example, right?
Not you,
for having it, because, you know, hey, look, Me and this cat been doing this for 3 years now. He knew exactly where I was
Yeah,
going.
I already knew what
He
you was
knew
talking
what
about.
I was
I already
going.
knew. I already knew. It was
Yeah, let's go.
You know,
Right.
Stockton and Malone, Wade to LeBron, Pippen to Jordan. You know what I'm saying? That's how it go. So it's super ironic that for Kendrick's stance to be they not like us. You know what I'm saying? And judging the entire protagonist of said song for his birth combination of people that exist. To then bring on someone who's basically participating in not like using. You know what I'm saying? You create more not like us's. I mean, look, I'm not making the rules. I'm just observing
Not
the
like
game
us
as
is
it
about
go, right?
tethers.
That's
Bree,
hilarious.
it's about a lot of things.
It's literally about tethers.
It's too many. You could say tethers. Some people will say it's because of exactly what I'm saying. So it's about a lot of things. If it was nailed down to one thing, then I could be like, all right, cool, let's go with that. But it's like most indoctrinating text that black folks like to read is up for too much interpretation. So they can't really find one stance to put on it, like the Bible, anything else. That seem like the black folks clutch on to. It's too interpretive. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just going with it. Like I said, I'm just watching the game. I know the rules. I've heard the rules explained to me. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm just watching the gameplay. So is Serena not black? No, because I said it. I said it that night. I was like Kendrick's biggest flex out of all of this beef was get Serena to be black again. If it wasn't for one night, 45 seconds under that street light, look at her. That's my 03 Serena right there, boy. Can I be your tennis ball? Jamie Foxx sang that song too.
Yes.
Can I be your tennis ball? You can go back. It's documented. I was a Serena stan.
Yeah, I think
I'm a
most
Serena
of us were.
stan. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like to the point to where they was having them kind of conversations. Oh man, she athletic. She built like a dude.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, do y'all not see a muscle mommy? Y'all, this is pre-muscle mommy era.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. But at the same time, right? It's like, and I ain't even talking about the whole going to crip walk to a song about your ex. They ain't even. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother stream. Okay. I'm just talking about the fact that she is actively publicly creating not like us is the same degree of scrutiny to the person y'all made the song about. So where does it land? Does it land where the not like us is also hating the not like us we don't like? Because I noticed that's a thing. Yeah. We be definitely okay with that. As long as it's against somebody we don't like, he could be black, he could be dark skinned, he could be light skinned. We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. So yeah. It's kind of
it's something I struggle with too. I'm kind of in between on it. But let me just shout out to the new people in the chat, man. Elite Team Killer, man. Thank you for popping through and contributing to the conversation, as well as a cynical optimist. I know I shouted you out, but again, appreciate y'all contributing to the conversation with your comments. And Vaughn Bryant, man, appreciate you. It's that whole crazy argument of can you be pro-black and married to a white person? Vaughn believes you can. I'm not saying that you can't be pro-black. But I also do believe that your choice affirms what you value. So that's where my struggle comes in, because you'll be, I'm for black people, but when it's my personal choice that I'm going to tether my lifetime and my resources to, I don't choose black people. So I don't know how to resolve that within myself. So that's where I'm at. I'm kind of stuck in the middle, like MJ would say. Too low to get under, too high to get over. You know what I'm saying? Stuck in the middle. It is important to make those distinctions between culturally black and genetically black. You know, they have the whole phenotype. Because again, like we saw that lady, and everybody was like, yeah, she's black. As soon as I see her, she's black. But what kind of black? I mean, she's got the black skin, but kind of black is she? Is she called straight black, or is she even? Obviously, she's racially phenotype black, but is she ethnically black? Is she a Black American? Because a lot of times in America, in the United States, we're talking about Black Americans, but again, we have people that pass as Black Americans that look like us, sound like us, dress like us. Be able
to say Black American now because they are different.
Yeah.
She reads as Black American to me. I mean, she got an accent. She look like it. She don't look mixed. I mean, so if she said, "Oh, my mom's from," usually people who, "Oh, my mom's from this place," they have more of an accent. But once again, we don't have much context about her. But she reads as Black American, just like I said, just like Yella. Like he reads as a Black American man. Like I feel like people who are from the culture read as such for the most part.
Yeah. So that's where my struggle with, and just anybody that might be curious what this is. This is the actual. I found this out yesterday. Yeah, I'm yesterday years old. I found out that this flag behind us is the Black American Heritage Flag. I've never seen it before in my life. It was established in the 60s or 70s. This is the Black American Heritage Flag. Had no idea. No clue. Never heard of it. Never seen it. I've seen the Freedom Flag for Juneteenth. I've seen that flag. I've seen the RBG. I've seen the American flag with the colors inverted to, RBG. I've seen all those flags. I've never seen this one. So that's what this is. Just in case anybody was curious.
8.
So after hearing that, I wanted to know what are fair qualifiers for somebody's blackness? Is that something we should even be doing? Because there has to be a thing where you know who's in the group and who's not. Like It's like IG would talk about disaggregation. We have to know who's who. If we're going to have benefits and statuses conferred on people based on what group they're in a hierarchical system, or do we need to, as Black people, even in a hierarchical system that is class-based and privilege-based, should we be shunning that? What do y'all think about identifying people based on group? Because that was done to us, should we perpetuate that? Like, where do y'all land on this?
To me,
and
if
in the
you're
chat,
Black,
what do y'all think?
To me, if you're Black American, you're Black American.
Okay.
It don't really care. To me, it don't matter how you walked through that with life. Because just like Yella's talking about with light skin, you're Black. Like if you're Black American, descendant of slaves, whatever, your parents been here for a couple generations, whatever, at this point, you're Black. You look like, you sound Black, you look Black. Culturally, your experience is Black. I don't think people understand what that means. Like, even if you're an American Black person who grew up in a white neighborhood, you still have a Black experience. It's different than somebody like me who grew up in the hood around all Blacks, but it's still a Black American experience. You don't have no other country you can go to. You don't have you're not visiting your grandparents in the islands every summer. You're not going to Nigeria. You don't have Nigerian weddings. Like you're Black. So to me, that's where it starts and ends. Like if you are by definition Black American, which means within the last, to me, 3 generations, everybody been here, or at least one of your parents fits that criteria, you're Black.
Okay.
And
however that expresses, whatever the cultural influences and expressions is, that doesn't matter. That's on the spectrum.
Yeah, because it affects you. Like if that's your history, it affects you. There's not another culture coming in affecting you like another country's culture coming in affecting you. There's no other culture that you're getting that's going to give you a different constitution of how your Blackness lands. You're going to have the Black American experience, which is you're a descendant of slaves, white supremacy. They're going to just experience that a different way. So for me, that's where it starts and stops for me. Like, I mean, because to me, and that's the thing about the Kendrick thing, like Yella's saying, some people interpret it that way. To me, the not like us, he's saying Drake is like, you're literally Canadian. So to me, Drake is not Black American, and he's not. Like he's Black, Black, but he's from Canada. So he's not Black American, which is its own culture from Black Canadian. So in that sense, like, no, Drake is not like us. But I do understand a lot of people interpret it as he's talking about mixed people, light-skinned people, even if they're American. That's not how I interpret it. But I know a lot of people take it that way, so that's fine. But yeah, like Drake is not a Black American, period. So to me, he not like us. Now, if he was mixed and from America and his daddy was from Atlanta or something like that, and his mama was white, he Black American.
Yeah.
So.
Man, shout out to Thomas. I'm assuming new to the conversation. Yeah, that's something we talked about first time when he first brought up the Not Like Us. Yellow over here was on that quick. Like we had 3 days like a conversation trying to delineate like race, nationality, culture, and ethnicity. Because like what are we talking about when we're talking about somebody's not like us? Who's the us? Who's us? Who's the us and who's not us? Because Yellow even had issues with the class level. It's definitely more complex than that. Because like Yellow even talked about class.
How it lands on people. It's obviously it's art. It's gonna land on people, which makes it a complex thing. So regardless of what the artist was trying to say, it does matter how people interpret the art. So that's why I'm at the point now where I'm like, I'm not really gonna argue it, because obviously if enough people are interpreting it that way, then it's obviously in there, right?
It's in there.
Right.
Yeah. Or we've put it there, or it's in us. It may not have been in there, but it's in us. Yeah,
right.
Facts. Yeah, because I like Yellow's point, even in the class, like because in certain ways, Kendra's not even like us. Like he's removed from a lot of the things. Like, and if you even look at his woman, a lot of people can. If people look at his woman being lighter skinned and consider like how much like us he is, how much us is he. So I mean, there's so many things into that. So there's different layers. We can't unpack it all today. I'm heading to a specific point though. Give us a second. Drake could have won the beef if he pulled a Tupac and made it keep your head up of his own. I hear you. Perhaps the lyric should have been, "We're not like them." I mean, either way, we're trying to delineate. Either way, no matter which way you say it, you have to define who's the us, who's the we.
He was definitely on his tether shit. I mean, just knowing Kendrick, Kendrick probably got one of these flags at the house. That's in the back. He do. Like I just like he probably got one of these flags at the house. I just know it. So like to me, knowing his background and stuff, like what he generally talks about, I'm pretty sure he was talking about tethers. But once again, because Drake is mixed, and so many people do see Drake as one of us because he's been that way for so long. People are going to take it as, oh, now you got a problem with light-skinned people or you got a problem with mixed people. So I can understand the nuance.
And there could be levels of that present.
Mm-hmm.
It could be.
Because if he was dark-skinned like
a darker-skinned black Canadian,
a
darker-skinned black Canadian, he might not have been questioned the same way.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say.
Yep.
So and I think it is in other ways too, because it's almost ignored sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like once we've set our mind on something, it's kind of ignored that the details. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that his father is American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fully black American, Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like nigga from Cleveland.
Right, but where did Drake grow up?
So, I mean, he grew up in Canada, but there's a lot of black people that didn't grow up here. You got if that's the qualifier, then you got to take out army brats. Hold on,
but
I'm not arguing. I'm not saying you're wrong. This is an and. This is an and. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a harshly double-sided coin. Because I understand what you're saying as far as them not being us. Because nigga, if this the Olympics, Drake would play for Canada. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like,
and also like being black in America creates the Black American cultural experience. Being black in another place with the different history with blackness and racism is going to give you a different experience. So we're just talking about culturally. I'm just like, well, if you're not here, then you're not having the Black American experience. You're having the black experience. It's just not a Black American experience.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I can understand it being specifically about from this country to that country. Like you're from Canada. You didn't grow up in the States specifically. Like you might have got like a tenth of what we probably experienced on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure Canada got their own race relations.
Yeah, they got their own flavor
about.
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm sure he had that. I don't know what it is though, because I'm American. So.
Yeah,
right.
It all translates. Hate translates.
Yeah. So I've always kind of understood that part. That's why I was trying to kind of clear that up. But I know a lot of people look at it as, well, he's only from there, and that's how that works. Well, y'all give a lot of people who got American black parents, and you know what I'm saying, mixed other cultures. Y'all give them the black code as long as they assimilate and participate or have seen most of the black culture experience. So it's just a different black culture experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's an and, not an or though. Because I 100% agree with you.
All right. Well, cool. Like we've been here an hour, man. Just kind of unpack some of this stuff, some of the precursor stuff. I want to get to the Gotta Be Me podcast. I'm going to start with just their TikTok clip. It's 59 seconds. And I want y'all to just see the starting point. I'm going to get y'all's opinion there, and then we're going to go into the backlash that they face. Give me a second. I'm going to full screen this. And as soon as I go back, it is going to start playing because TikTok is weird. All right. So let me make sure the sound is up for Bree. Okay, cool.
Trying to say I can't hear. I do got small ears.
Black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear.
Hold up, dang it.
She is so.
I just wish the black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful. Like eyebrows. Like, you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like, just the way you are. And that's not black girl magic either. Black girl magic is natural. Like, it looks way better.
Yeah. I also think that they've talked themselves into, and they can't talk themselves out of. I think they know that being natural and being with no makeup and all this stuff is beautiful, but they've been told and they've been shown like this is beautiful.
They've just been
so
shown
they can't
over
get
and
their,
over.
And
their
they just
mind
want
off
to fit
of
in.
it.
They just want to fit in. That's true.
I mean, that's what everybody's doing, right?
Because even like we've never grown up with wigs. We've never grown up with fake eyelashes. And in our minds, we know natural. You know, we know
We've
it's
always
beautiful.
been natural, right?
We know we know it's the way to go. But we're still affected by it. We're still like.
And
but am I enough?
imagine if we
Right.
hadn't
You know?
grown up this way, how affected we'd be by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was our moms doing it, or our sisters, or our best friend at school, like that would be. How do you even fight that alone?
All right, so that's real quick. Bree,
Are they Amish?
They are some kind of conservative. I can't remember because that was never
Are
important
they on
to
a
me.
compound? Okay.
They are in some sort of religious, conservative, rebuild and focus on the family type group with a high percentage of interracial relationships.
Okay.
A
It was
high-
the
a high
clothes was
percentage.
throwing me off. It's
Yeah.
Okay.
You said keep going or
Run it back because I missed. No, run it back because I missed it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Because I was.
You Metro
I
booming
was trying
now,
to
though.
switch over my. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So, was the last audio better?
No, it's just you can just adjust your volume. I mean,
feel like this one is about to cut out. I think I heard it. I think this one is going to be more prone to cutting out. The last one was just as clear.
Yeah.
This one is louder, and it sounds like it's going to have a little snap, crackle, pop while
some
you're
of that
talking.
womp, womp, womp.
It's just a feeling. It hasn't really happened yet. I thought I heard something as you finished speaking.
It ain't happening. Wow, now. Okay,
Oh yeah,
No, there's a little crackle.
It's snap,
There's
crackle,
some of that crackle.
popping. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not the worst, but it's there.
All right, hold on.
Let me know when you're ready. And what did y'all think about that in the chat? And Bree, while he's getting set up, how did that land on you?
I mean, they were talking about it as outsiders because they were using like third person. They were saying
They
like
were.
they and stuff like that. So I mean, it seems like they're aware that it's not their experience. So this is like to me just kind of like a theoretical, hypothetical. Like, well, we're trying to understand why this other group does something they do. So I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with them theorizing about why Black women are the way they are. I don't necessarily have an issue with that because they're talking about, they're not saying we, us, they're not including themselves in the group. So I mean, I guess like I'm more concerned with wherever they come from with these Amish clothes on. Of like,
wow. Okay.
I don't think you understand not only the Black experience, but just the I can freely go outside American experience. I'm just concerned. I have a lot of concerns.
The human
They're not
experience.
qualified. Yeah, they're not qualified to have this conversation for me.
Well, now I gotta ask you. Now I gotta question you because a minute ago you said that the full Black expression, no matter how it was expressed, was okay.
No, they
as long
having
as
a
you were
Black
American.
experience.
But you just said they don't qualify. They're not qualified
I'm
to speak
saying
on it.
I'm concerned about them having the conversation about the Black American experience. Period. Like,
right.
Once again, they're having the conversation as outsiders racially. Right. That's which they are Black, but that's fine because they're like, we're biracial. We have different hair texture. We understand we not going through that. Like, we get it. So I'm cool with that. That's why I said my concern is, can you really comment on the American experience that most Americans are having with these Amish clothes on. I don't know. That's my concern. I'm past race. Can you go outside? Have you been to Target? Can you go to Costco? Can you go to Walmart? Can you get Amazon deliveries? Like, I just need to know. I'm curious about their whole cultural experience now, because I know it's not the average American cultural experience.
It's obviously not. They're
right. So now
everybody saw their clothes, so everybody knows as soon as you see their clothes that they don't have the average American cultural experience.
Right.
But it sounds still like you're disqualifying.
No, they black. I'm not saying they black. I'm not disqualifying. It would be like an Amish person, because Amish are so segregated. That's what I'm saying. I need to know how segregated they are from culture, because like Amish people have their own whole culture within America. So they're not having the experience we're having. So if they were to come talk about American experience, like, oh yeah, when I went to Amazon, like I get Amazon packages, I go to Walmart, I would be like, you're Amish, you don't do none of that. So like, that's all I'm saying. I am curious about the context of their culture.
So to your analogy,
them better.
Your analogy, an Amish person does have a perspective on how Americans live their lives, and they've said, I don't want to live that way.
Right.
So,
but I would know that.
People,
I would know that.
What you mean you would know that? What does that mean?
If they were Amish, like everybody know, most Americans know what Amish people look like. We kind of generally know they don't really fuck with modern stuff. So I would have that frame listening to the Amish people talk. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, for myself.
So for your comfort, okay, so you're saying for the conversation, you just need to settle in your mind what they are. You want to classify them before you can listen to their opinion
about like what kind of
curiosity,
what subculture they're coming from when they speak. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
I'm just curious.
Okay, I just at one point you actually said they're not qualified. The literal words came out of your mouth. They're not qualified to speak on the Black experience. So that's why I'm or the Black or American culture. Either way, like so what? Why wouldn't Amish people be qualified to speak on American culture? Like they're
American
they don't live it.
On it as outsiders, right?
Whatever word, like let's skip the word semantics. Like I'm trying whatever word. Like why can't Amish person speak on things they don't live out themselves? They're observers,
and that's why I'm like nuancing it, because I'm not saying anybody can comment on anything. I can comment on Korean culture. I'm not Korean. I'm just not going to have the insight. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I would look at an Amish person commenting on what modern Americans do as an outsider lens.
Got you.
And so
let me see if I understand you. I'm trying to restate. So when you said they're not qualified, you were speaking from your own personal perspective. If they haven't lived it out, I would have to place their opinion and critique of what Black Americans do in a specific category for myself, for Bree. Yeah, you weren't saying as in this society, they don't have a say. You were saying for Bree, I would okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. Got you. I love Elite Team Killer. He was like, the Lord is telling me not to say it. But if you're beautiful, with or without, if you're beautiful with or without makeup. I like her hair though, but I'm gonna go repent for objectifying. I love that.
No, they're beautiful.
Appreciate
they're beautiful girls, and I don't actually have an issue with it, because they're saying you're beautiful even without it, and other girls like, well, they've been told they aren't. So I don't find anything they're saying crazy.
Yeah,
nothing's crazy.
Can we see the clip again?
Yeah. We're gonna run it back real quick.
Y'all was
cooking. So right before we run that clip. And I want to get to this. This is a question I asked, but I think I pivoted somehow. I might have lost track. But this is a question I asked, and I think I moved on before getting an answer. But is it an issue for Black folks to delineate and make culturally, subculturally, and even caste distinctions between other Black folk within America? And I know I worded it different, but that's the question I was trying to get to about, is it okay for us to do that? Or should we, and I think I said, like, should we shun like the hierarchical systems? Like, do y'all think we should employ these systems within our group? Or is this one of those things that comes from like white supremacy that we need to get away from because it's damaging and harmful and hurtful? Like, should we be making classifications and distinctions because these are the same things that Black people complain about, being classed and distinguished because it marginalizes us? Should we be doing that within our own group and perpetuating the same harms that it seems to cause? Or can we do it ethically? What do y'all think about that?
I think it's for yourself more so than anything. Black people ain't collectively doing nothing together enough to what's the word, to implement anything. Like, what are we gonna do to implement this? Nothing. But I mean, for yourself, when you're listening to someone talk, I think you should always try to understand the frame from which a person speaks. So I kind of do that anyway. I just be like, who is this talking? If I hear a person from the islands talk, I know they finna say some racist shit about white people. I just know they hate white people. I just know it. Like, I'm not gonna say that to them, but I just know that. Like, from their frame. So it's like, for yourself, anytime you listen to someone talk, you probably should be curious about where is this person speaking from, because that should affect whether you internalize it and how you listen to what they're saying. So, but that's where it stops for me.
Got you. So just an internal framing, so you can make your own proper distinctions about where to identify their perspective, to help you orient their perspective, so you can either better empathize or clarify. Okay, that's how you say it. What about you, Yellow? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is useless in the social application.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because as much as we want to kind of scrap it out about who lands where, we're ultimately still not the ones making that determination when it really matters.
Facts. You see who be moving the colors around in the world. Right. It ain't us.
It ain't us. Right. They not like us. The ones they who doing it. When they be talking about the they, that's who they talking about. They not like us.
Right.
Okay.
So, but Bree did make a really good point, though, that when you are listening to somebody speak and when you're in these spaces and when you're kind of trying to just have the understanding, because it's not going to be a huge group of people that would assimilate to that or implement that. But of course, you get people here and there to kind of start viewing it a different way, because Black folks definitely can't get nothing. We not finna get on one accord to actually do that thing. We not.
Gotcha.
You know, we made one good push and got free, I guess, and that was it. Like,
all the gas was gone for like a millennia. Like, all the gas for like 1,000 years. Like,
we picked up a little steam. We made some hella impact in the 60s, and
that's all we got.
Man. Yeah, it's like we like the Browns or the Bears, man.
Ooh, you ain't got to go there. Leave my Browns alone, man.
I'm gonna say the Bears too, right? Because look, Bree, when I say that, right, like the Bears and the Browns are like two of the oldest teams in the league, right?
Right.
Most of their glory was in
long, great 50s, 60s.
Helmets that didn't actually do anything.
Balls
actually were like the skin.
Yeah.
That's
the Browns.
Pigskin, right?
Yeah, they used to actual leather helmets, actual pigskin. That was the Browns. That's their glory days.
Like to the point to where Paul Brown and George Halas are considered founders of the NFL type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you know
that
what
was
I'm
y'all
saying?
glory days before there was real competition.
Yeah.
Right. Because it felt like freedom for them. And it felt like freedom for them, right?
Right.
It's like, we could do this. We got the freedom to play, and there's only like 8 of us that's super successful, and we can make this work. And then 2025 is 30-some teams. Everybody's here. It's all a bunch of like us's now. Now it's a bunch of different versions. Mm-hmm.
The blacks came.
Yep.
And they took it from us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We
thought that. I see you, Bree. I see you. With the Dennis Green. Let's go. Yeah.
We let them off the hook. Let's go. Yeah, that's basically what it is, though. Yeah. That's basically what it is, though. So we can kind of for ourselves when we need to know where we stand, because the problem ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to change. So you kind of got to know where you stand. At least you don't have to apply it to others, but it's best to know where you stand so you know how to operate.
Okay. I want to challenge, before we go back to the clip, I want to challenge what both of y'all said, because I think this is something that us as Black people, we have adopted a place of learned helplessness. And although I'm not trying to make that accusation, I think it's cultural. We do make stuff happen. We do implement things. We do create language. We do create shifts in the way people think about things. We do now have ecosystems and industries and corporations that are fully black woman, black girl, this, that there are even legal challenges to. You can't discriminate and make something the fearless fun. You can't have it only for black women. So like there are now black men, black women who have created $1 million industries that employ other minorities, other black men, other black women, other minorities. Like they are creating things that create jobs, impact livelihoods. Like this is now something that we even in YouTube, there are groups and bubbles of black people who have made tonight's conversation was raking in dough until the fallout. Now you have Diddy's and lower Diddy's, the ace metaphors, who are supposedly narcissists who are harming people, who can now impact people's families. I had to keep working. I had to keep a roof over my head. I had a son to feed. So now we have our own black supremacy bubble where black people are making things happen, and they can take away your job and they can take away your ability to feed your family. So it's not, well, black people aren't pulling the levers. Black people are literally now pulling the levers for other black people. So that's why I wanted to challenge that. What do y'all think now that we are having? It's not a societal level. It's not a global level like white supremacy and white domination or whatever verb you want to use. But we still have a lot of impact on each other's lives now.
Yeah, we affect the culture.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we don't affect anything. I'm just saying we don't implement things. Like we not the systems builders. Like we make culture.
But we have subsystems. We have some subsystems.
I mean, no, we have subsystems, but like hierarchies and structures and supremacy is not it already exists within the structure that we exist in.
Facts.
So like that's why I was like, it's not a novel idea in the first place. And then like black people really aren't just like we're the ideas guy. Like we're not really the plan guy. Like we have the good ideas. We more like that. We just be making stuff up. Like we're very creative, but we're not really implementing people. So that's what I mean. It's just like it already exists, and like we would have to create a system in which it would matter. And like I just don't see us making another system where it would matter enough. Black people were more likely just play into the system we exist in, which is what you described, which is individual black people climbing in the system and then doing the same thing that people do in the system. So that's all I mean. I don't think it would be.
So like a subsystem within the United States. Within the United States, there are people who create like by the block. They will buy like city areas. They will like developers. They will take an area, develop it, and create space for a group of people, not just black. Like I'm just giving an example. They'll buy up enough land for people to have housing, retail, and industry. And that's a subsystem. It can operate because it'll have enough resources, like a hospital, a school, a store. It'll have enough resources. Like a city is basically like a subsystem for the country. An army base. Even like within the framework of capitalism, you can say Tyler Perry Studios. He does not have to operate on the same principles of capitalism inside the studio. He could sell his movies to a distributor and do capitalism there. But then when he actually gets to inside the doors, he could actually employ socialism or some other structure. Everybody here that works here owns a piece of the company. Every employee has a piece of equity. Everybody, we profit share. Everybody contributes this much, and however much they contributed, they get this much back. Like once you have control over a domain or like a household is a subsystem of a subsystem. Like there's levels to this self-sufficiency. Once you have resources, once you have any set of resources, you can then determine how you redistribute those resources if you have the capacity to satisfy your needs. So even within a household, once you get your paycheck, how do you distribute the resources? Does daddy get the big piece of chicken? Does mom make daddy and the kids a plate? Do the kids clean up after
culture.
dinner? Like, so that's what I'm talking about. So once
that's
you
why
get
I'm
the
like,
resources,
black people ain't gonna do that. That's the part that I'm saying we not gonna do. We not finna,
and I get that. We're not gonna determine for
we
ourselves
not finna do like the
self-determination.
Amish. Yeah, we not finna be like the Amish, which is totally possible in America. Like, you can
because
do it.
the Amish, perfect. The Amish
Yeah.
do it too. Like they're in a capitalist world, but they have decided we're going to sell some things, we're going to make some things and sell them to earn resources, but then we're going to employ them differently. Thank you. We're going to do things differently with these resources once we get them from y'all. You give us the money, we'll do everything without
Black people ain't
electricity.
finna do that shit. And when we do it, we see weird shit like Nature Boy, and
that's true.
I told you I ain't moving in the woods with y'all niggas. So my point still stand. Like,
I mean, that's fair.
He ain't finna do
It's
that.
totally fair. I was just curious. I mean, because a lot of times we'll adopt that stance. Like,
I'm
we're
not
not
going.
making. I was just saying, like, we're a lot of times people will be like, we're not making decisions, but like a lot of times there's now groups of us that are actually making decisions for other black people. You know what I'm saying? So
not good.
Go ahead, yo.
So now I was gonna ask y'all why y'all got that train of thought going, right? And I know some people in the chat might not get this one, right? What version of Monopoly are black folks?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna tell you, you probably haven't heard of this one. It's the one my grandmother had called Bibleopoly.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It was fun though. It was
That's
fun.
Black
It was
YouTube.
fun.
That's Black YouTube.
No, that's
It was
black.
fun.
I feel like
It
the
was
Bible,
fun.
because whatever
Yeah.
culture we make, it's gonna be some Bible. It's gonna be
Yeah.
some church. I won't
Yeah.
say Bible.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some church. in there.
Something, yeah. So something, yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
it's gonna be
church
some type
flavored.
of-
It was church flavored cannibalism. Like that's what Bibleopoly is. Because Monopoly is cannibalism. I'm eating everybody else. I'm eating my own. We're all going
So,
around
like,
together, but I'm gonna
okay,
eat
wait
y'all.
a minute. Hold on. So, like,
Consumerism.
are we set in the Bible?
No, I think it's just like Bible.
The board. Like the board. Yeah, look at Bibleopoly.
Because I need to order that with
I
my
gotta
Bob
look it up.
Rossland now. Y'all gonna have me with a whole bunch.
Because I'm trying to figure out like what would be the y'all would
What's
have
the
to
real
have
like what would be
road?
Boardwalk and Park
yeah,
Place?
like what would be Boardwalk and Park Place? Who would be the two little purple cheek motherfuckers?
Yeah, I'm actually
in
curious.
the
What the
front?
pieces? What are the pieces? Churches?
I can't. It's been a
Is
while.
res- is-
It's been
is-
so long. There it is.
Oh, I found
Wait,
it.
is the resurrection pass and go since you get to
I'm
go
trying to
back
pull it
around
up
the
for the
board
people.
again?
Why this picture so fuzzy?
Trying to pull it up for the people. Let's
That
see.
would
What we
be
got.
pretty dope.
Not the abyss. It's the railroads.
Hold up, man. I'm
This
trying to
ain't
pull
the
this up.
real
Why
one.
would
They
it?
talking about go meditate. I thought this was the Bible.
Let me see. Open image, a new tab. Give
Oh
me a
no, that's
Oh,
second.
so it
that's
ain't no jail.
spiritualopoly. That's
So it ain't no
spiritualopoly.
jail. It's just meditate. So jail is meditation. Who
It's
made this?
spiritualopoly.
Go meditate. It's
That's
Bibleopoly.
Crystal.
Get
That's
this
Crystal.
off my
That's Crystal
screen.
Girlopoly.
That's Black Christian. No, that's the
Let me
black
see.
version
Share
of
this
religion.
tab
It just be,
instead.
it just don't make no sense.
That's
it
it?
just be all kind of
All right.
stuff in it. Yeah, stupid. I'm mad you showed me this.
So the things are the different the churches like Rome, Tarsus, Saul of Tarsus, Athens,
hate
and where they
y'all.
had different churches.
That's dope.
I hate y'all so much.
Utilities, what did I say? Contribute in offerings is one of the utilities. The other one is feed the hungry. The railroads are the abyss. Okay, I'm not sure why that's the abyss. That's not the way I
That's
remember.
what I'm saying.
This is not
And
the way I
then
remember.
instead of go to jail, you go to meditate.
It might have been something like that, but I feel like it was a little different. Give me a second.
It
I'm
wasn't a
looking for another
Baptist
version.
monopoly. I'll meditate on my
Maybe it
precepts and
was.
fix my eyes on your way. Yeah, that makes sense. Elite Team Killer. You're right. You're right. Go meditate on it, on the word.
Yeah.
Definitely a jail sentence.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Songs. I hate y'all. I'm gonna go
Hey,
play
listen.
the Bob Ross one. It's really cute.
Learn
They
something
got a
new
happy
every
little
day,
tree
man.
piece. Oh my god, it's gonna eat the girls up.
Yeah. It's gonna eat.
You
the
got
girls
it.
up.
You got the
Or
ball.
I told you I put ads to cart when we was watching the movie. Ads to
Oh
cart.
my god. See, they click.
I need that in my life.
I need it in my life. Cynical Optimist said, I've noticed that there's a lot of resistance, gatekeeping, or denying among black folks towards other black folks, right? Yeah, that's real. It's a thing. There's something about that. I don't know exactly what it is. Part of me feels like, I know we call it crabs in a barrel. I think there's better language than crabs in a barrel because I think that's become so ubiquitous that we don't know what crabs in a barrel means other than pulling somebody down. But I think there is a mentality that denies people their agency. And I think we do it for ourselves too.
That's part
Like,
of the
there's this-
culture.
Yeah, it's coded in the culture that we deny
but
each other and
You
ourselves.
can't just do whatever you want. That's unsafe.
It's the system.
Like in the Black culture, it's a part of the culture that you can't just be out here like doing. You can't be a butterfly and frolic because you will die.
Yeah.
You will be murdered. You don't have the right to
Yes.
frolic as a
Midnight
Black
snack is in the
person and
building.
self-determined
Facts.
because your Blackness is determined by your skin color.
Yeah. And there's a lot of fear in there too. There's a lot of fear in there
Right.
too. Like if you get too far, you're going to leave the conclave of Black people where you're safe and be in other cultures where they don't esteem you or respect you. But the issue that most Black people run into is we're not esteemed and respected amongst our own, which is why we're having conversations like this.
And
Like,
yeah,
you know,
but culturally, like historically, you're like, I think now that's lost because we don't have the threat that they had. Because like the threat used to not be your mama being a nigger or toxic communication or even somebody just being inappropriate with you. The threat was being lynched.
Yeah.
Right.
A much greater threat to
murdered.
life. Much more
Right.
immediate
So
threat to life. Yeah.
right. So I think that was the safety that they had, and we've just carried it on, not having the context anymore. And so now it don't make no sense. Like you can leave home and not be well.
You can
if
be
you're not in the
vigilant.
South.
You don't have to be
right.
You know, prepared to die every time you walk out the house.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's real. So shout out to Midnight Snack. I think I said that while somebody was talking. My bad.
Snacks.
My bad when I be talking over y'all to greet people. My impulsivity be popping up. But maybe without conscious moral intent, it isn't people that create the systems. It's the system that create people. Now, what I've learned though, this is a feedback loop. So it's both. It's not neither. It's both. It's not or. It's both. So people create cultures. Cultures create systems or institutions. The institutions then create cultures, and those cultures shape people. Like it's a cycle.
Right.
So like when somebody is born, they don't start shaping the corporate culture is shaping them. But as they grow and develop, they start exerting their influence and they shape culture, like influencers and things. So it's a symbiotic relationship. It's a give and take. So there's both. The systems are creating cultures and cultures are creating people. At the same time, people are creating these cultures and cultures are creating these systems. So it's very much like a river and a riverbank. Like the riverbank shapes the river and decide where it goes, but the river determines where the riverbank is through erosion and change. So it's a both.
It's crazy to see how that play out too. That adds so much more confusion to like.
I have an
what
example of that.
Let's go.
Yeah, I just thought about. I wanted to.
Bree got exasperated.
I had
Whatever
a
that
deep
is. Go ahead,
sigh.
yo.
I had a deep.
Yeah, that was.
Go ahead, twin.
No, it's just like okay, like it's like we have Gen Alpha now, and the way they use get.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the example of what Rashawn is talking about. Like culturally, they have Black parents who grew up in a culture where we said "God damn," and then we had kids who didn't grow up in that same culture, but they hear the words, and then now "gat" means but to the same kids who Black parents were around for the original use of it, but they've changed it, and so now that is what it means, and we can't argue with them about it. They've decided. Because they're young, so the younger people decide the culture. So they've decided that's what it means now. So that's what it means now.
I gotta look that up. Okay, new word.
So that's kind of an example of what he said. Like we raise these kids, but now they've come to the age where they decide what the culture is. And so that was an example of it. And I hate when they say it.
Biology, culture, and environment. Okay, I like that.
I'm glad you pulled that word up.
Look into that.
I'm glad you pulled that word up so you can see it because I almost replaced that U with an I and switched it around. What's the word called? I'll be having that sometimes, y'all. I think
dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
I swear I done got some dyslexia being on StreamYard. Streaming.
Words
just get jumbled up sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially new ones like that, because I ain't never seen that. Where am I up?
I've never seen it before. I'm gonna look it up. I like this little chart I pulled up. The trifecta of transformation, a synergistic effect of biology, culture, and environment, as they simultaneously interact to produce the energy needed for transformation, regardless of the outcome being good or bad. Yeah, I like that. So I'm
eight down.
The Crimson Cure. So who we just were talking about the other day. Shout out.
Start my channel.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so let me finally get to replaying this for Yellow because he asked for this like 30 minutes ago. we get distracted. So anybody that's new to the channel, we very yappy. We like to talk and we like to think and try to understand things. So that's what we do here. And we also do some other stuff too. We all over the place. Yellow. Are you ready?
I just wish the black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful. Like eyebrows. Like you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like just the way you are. And that's not black girl magic either. Black girl magic is natural. Like it looks way better.
Yeah. I also think that they've talked themselves into, and they can't talk themselves out of. I think they know that being natural and being with no makeup and all this stuff is beautiful, but they've been told and they've been shown like this is beautiful.
They've just been
so
shown
they can't
over
get
and
their,
over.
And they
their
just
mind
want to
off
fit
of
in.
it.
They just want to fit in.
That's true.
I mean, that's what everybody's doing, right?
Because even like we've never grown up with wigs. We've never grown up with fake eyelashes. And in our minds, we know natural. You know, we know
We've
it's
always
beautiful.
been natural, right?
We know we know it's the way to go. But we're still affected by it. We're still like.
And
but am I enough?
imagine if we hadn't grown up this way, how affected
Why
we'd be
Yellow
by
look
it.
stressed?
Like if it was our moms doing it, or our sisters, or our best friend at school, like that would be. How do you even fight that alone?
And this is so funny because I know nobody here has watched that movie except for the three of us on the panel and Midnight Snack. We watched a movie called Heretic, and there was a sister, mother. What's the girl's name?
Sister
The
Barnes?
P one.
Oh,
not Sister Barnes.
Paxton.
Sister Paxton. Sister Paxton. And she was like, well, obviously I know that God is the way. And it's funny. She's like, we know that this is the way to go. You really don't know that it's the way to go until you try other ways and have compared. So I get what Bree's saying about knowing where people have come from. Have you tried? Because I know a lot of Amish people or it might be Mennonites. They send people off when they're 18 to experience the world so that they can determine for themselves that they want, this is what you want. So I kind of like that. I think there is a need to experience more
belief
before you can say one's better. Because it's like, I know this is the way. How do you know it's the way? This is the only way you've ever known. Like this is that's not the way because you don't know any other way there. So I there's something there that I think people need to figure out. But Biella, now that you've heard that clip, how does that land on you before we get into how they were responded to? Because you look troubled.
So
whereas let me get this. I just feel like something is needed.
Are those the Alpha podcast hands?
So I'm about to go sinister real quick.
Let's go.
So the reason I close my eyes and look stressed is because I wanted to listen to them outside of seeing them for about 20 seconds and just consider them as, for lack of a better term, the average black girl sitting up having this conversation. It truly is determined by how they look, by where we place that. Because the words they were saying weren't wrong. Because if I could take the manuscript or the transcript of what they said, I could probably apply that to a time when I've said that. When I've said those same things.
Yeah.
When red pill people have said a lot of that. When people who have been trying to actually motivate black girls have said that. You know what I'm saying? People who are respected, like the black women who show up black, represent black, they black ain't in question. They ain't shook the tape. They ain't shook the table. Shout out to Dr. Bro. You know what I'm saying? So the words they're saying matters too, but how they look and the culture they've come from. Does it matter if they can have an opinion on it? I mean, shit, it's 2025 on the internet. Everybody can have an opinion. Goddamn, you buy a microphone, you have an opinion. But you know what I'm saying? In the idea of the culture, I guess it is one of them things. As long as you ain't saying nothing crazy, as long as you ain't saying nothing reasonable. You know what I'm saying? Unreasonable. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just up for black girl interpretation at that moment. Now I know why they probably flipped out, because they was like, that ain't black girl magic. And now we're gonna question what black girl magic is. What y'all know about black girl magic? I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is if it's genetic and not cultural. Because black girl magic definitely get applied to any woman that look black a lot of times. She definitely don't have to be like us. Because we know Cynthia ain't like us, but if that little 4'7" fucking dynamo don't have some fucking black girl magic in her, then I don't know what black girl magic is. Okay. So, because goddamn.
Yeah, they ain't saying nothing crazy. This was like I mean, they spoke as outsiders even when they were talking.
Yeah.
So it wasn't weird to me. They didn't say we, us. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they spoke in the third person. So it's like they clearly know they're not the group they talking about.
Yeah.
I agree to some of that. Like the third person, I do think, because like you said, the whatever cultural bubble that they exist in, they feel othered. And even when they spoke, they got othered. So, you know, the people, the black women picked up on it.
Hey,
what
should have said? The blacks.
Of course.
They was like they didn't say something like if the coloreds wear their hair this way. I mean, they just said they. I mean,
they said being black girl magic, being comfortable and empowered in any look you choose. A lot of people say that. Doesn't mean we hate ourselves, sick of judgment. Who is they? Off to pick up my wigs. Ooh. Oh, brother.
Man, they should. You
not one of them have 4C hair.
What?
Okay.
Well, they don't.
Hold on. Well, what?
None of them have 4C hair. I mean, that is true.
Yeah. That's the kinkiest black hair.
Yeah, they don't have 4C hair. They're more like 3 something.
Whatever grade it is. You
know? Okay. So it's.
I mean, it's not relevant. It's not relevant to what they're saying, but they do in fact not have 4C hair. They do not have.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. The statement's right. This is the same thing I said about them. The words they're saying is accurate. Now, where it could be applied,
it's relevant.
It's the messenger. The messenger.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where. Yeah, that's kind of where it gets. That's where you be like, so the fuck what?
Hey, sometimes we do that. Like, okay, so it might be the right message, but it's the wrong messenger. So I mean, that's kind of the question here. Y'all need to stop telling other people what to do. If I like it, what's your problem with it? So it's black girl.
Yeah, some people took issues with the third person, but I understood the third, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it's important when you listen to somebody to understand where they do the frame they're speaking from. Because my understanding is the third person is like we're biracial, and we also don't share in the normal culture that everybody shares in. Like they talked about not sharing in the culture where the people around them don't wear wigs, they don't wear none of that. So they understand that they're outside of the culture they're speaking of. Not just because of their race. It's because they literally don't do that where they're from. Like, do you see the fucking clothes they have on? What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course it's third person.
So, Bree, let me ask you, as a black woman, I need you to speak for all black women as a monolith.
I mean, I'll be black today. What's up?
Okay. What is black girl magic?
It was a movement to amplify black women's voices and speak for representation in media for black women. That's what it is.
Okay. So it's just women need to have their voices heard and be represented in media. That's black.
It was an actual movement, like a literal movement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's where it comes from, the movement.
Okay.
Yeah. But now it's just become a term that people use on social. Black girl magic.
Okay. So I thought more like the young ladies that black girl magic was some system or set of traits that black women possessed that made them magical. Like I thought, not literal magic, but like I thought there was like some system of traits that they were esteeming. That's what I thought black girl magic was, some system of like traits. Like that's what I thought. But if it's about representation and
amplifying black voices in
Yeah,
media
then
and in arts and like
I would have.
music and stuff like that.
I would have never got that
Yeah.
from.
But-
Yeah, like you said, it's been bastardized. So yeah,
But that
it's Black
that's
Girl Magic,
the
Black.
But it's still, she's not completely off though, because a part of that was representation of seeing women with black hair, you know,
Mhm.
like with their hair
That's fair.
out, with their
Actual
natural
blackness.
skins.
Yeah.
Actual blackness. So she's not completely off. She probably just
Yeah.
doesn't know the origin.
It's a
of
part.
it,
It's a piece of it. Yeah.
but it is a part.
So
of it.
it's getting piecemealed out into the things that people want it to mean,
Right.
or what they care. I see. I get what you're saying. We do that a lot. Watts asks, is Black Girl Magic the same as Black Excellence?
No,
Okay.
Black excellence is a different movement.
Okay.
And that's the thing. A lot of these terms people use online, it's like these were movements. Like these are like
Right.
social movements that people now have used as like adjectives and
Slogans
like regular
and-
words. Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Sure.
that's where it kind of gets difficult, I guess, for I don't want to say this and it sounds bad, but it's me, so it's gonna sound horrible.
At least you know, play. At least you know.
It's the problem that black women can't separate themselves from the collective at times.
Yeah.
They're just thinking that if one of us succeeded, we've all succeeded. One of us is all of us. So Black Girl Magic kind of has now become, hey, you were born black. Here's your magic. Have a good life. You know what I'm saying? And
Fairly
that's kind
Odd
of
Parents.
right. Right. Here's your wand. You're a black woman. Because that's why they think everything they touch is great. That's why they feel like they can't be wrong, because everything they touch, everything they breathe on is great. When, you know what I'm saying, the lie detector determined that's a lie. You know, and that's kind of where trying to apply that to just the random happenings of any black woman, well, then they have it too. Because they are black girls. They're not the ones we
They
grew
over
up
there
with.
doing somebody. Yeah, they over there doing some other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're not the
Having
ones we grew up with.
midsummer cosplay. Black
You
version.
dirty man.
They doing the black version of midsummer that got on all black, like them little dresses.
Right. And then the crazy part is that those super so so what I'm hearing is that those people that are commenting
Mhm.
are, you would say they are pro-black, perceiving
say
that no, I'm saying the people commenting, not the girls.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the
Yeah.
people in the comment section. I don't think
People
they
in the
pro-black.
comment section.
I think they just
Okay.
anti-criticism.
So they're anti-criticism.
I would call
Okay,
them
so-
sister code. Sister code.
Sister
Like that. If I was to label these people, it would be the sister code. Girls. It'll be them.
Okay.
The black version of girls. They look out for black women, but they kind of look out more for darker skinned black women and use pretty privilege a lot and talk about them.
Yeah.
That group.
All right, cool. Yeah, my bad. My bad. Yeah, that's
It's the bomb sound.
Cause how you gonna claim pretty privilege when you can never admit that you ugly? Like how can you say some other group of people has pretty privilege but never admit that you're ugly or bad looking or have a bad day? You can't even be yourself. You can't even have a tinge of what you really look like.
Yeah, can't be seen. Can't answer the door without throwing something on your face, your head. I mean, there's something there. Now, again, I don't think anything is 100%. I don't think anytime a group of people is doing a thing, having an activity, everybody's doing it for the exact same reason. But to what the young ladies were saying, I wanted to ask this question. Like, I know what Brace on Bree said. I've been using Black Girl Magic incorrectly. There was an actual movement that it was tied to. So, like a lot of things, I got it the wrong way. I'm getting Black Girl Magic. So, what's more magical? Loving yourself in spite of how the society would have you feel about your features, about your textures, about your colors and shades, or transforming yourself completely so that you feel worthy and beautiful in a society that would devalue your natural state. Like, what's more magical?
Y'all finna make me give me a little house in the country and have my heretic moment. Cause bitch, they both the same. They doing the same shit, just different way.
The belief and the disbelief.
You don't feel like you beautiful. You just doing that shit because your belief system say you don't need that shit. And they doing it because they system telling them they need that shit. Y'all both going to the same musty room with the nasty blueberry pie. Y'all ain't not wearing makeup because y'all don't feel like it's necessary because all y'all motherfuckers doing it, which means you have to do it. Which means it's a mechanism of control or belief.
I mean,
why y'all let me watch that movie?
Cook.
Yellow no.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yes. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
Yeah, okay. I'm with that. Because again, for them to have not experienced the other way and say, well, I know this is the way to be, it's that same thing we were listening to with the Church of Latter-day Saint lady. Like, I know this is the way. How's the Lord let you know that this is the way, sister? Like, well,
I was watching the girl get bust down, and I just thought in that moment God was real. All right, Sister Paxton was on it. I'm just saying, but yeah, it's just crazy to me because it's like it's either or. Because a lot of people exist. I feel like extremes are always bad. So I feel like the people who are more actually owning it are the people who do both.
Yeah. Okay. I feel you. Where you're not conforming to a pressure to do either. You do both of your own will in the moment and can do either. So it's not like an addiction to safety within this.
Or like being right. Oh, I'm so beautiful. I don't need it. Or oh, I need to look great for the system. Yeah. Like both are equally
where the things become tools. Neither are you. You're doing an activity. It's not. I get what I don't have the words for it, but I see the concept. I can feel the concept out. So I'm with you. I want to play a little bit of their video where they get a little bit of backlash and respond to it. They have a skit behind it. I'm not going to do the whole skit because there's a bunch of young people with diverse array of colors. The panel that they typically speak, the 3 to 4 girls that they typically have on the podcast are all lighter skinned. But when they did a production out of this, they had a range of black people.
Oh, it's like more.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, their group has more diversity as far as shades and colors. And they speak to that in their skit, which again, I'll drop the link again. I dropped it earlier.
I want to know about they cult. I mean,
and they talk about it. If you go to their channel, they talk about why they dress the way they do, what they believe in. They talk about all that. But this is the
name
video.
Of their channel again? Oh, you got it. Okay, cool.
Gotta be me. Gotta the letter B. Gotta GOTTA space B. The letter B space ME.
Got to be glue. Okay.
Got to be me.
That's their channel. Anybody wants to check them out?
It's weird too because, and just to think about it real quick, it's weird to kind of hear them get backlash when, and I know Bree ain't following nobody into the woods, so I get that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I get that, but Bree aside, you know what I'm saying? Would you consider them? Because they are, if they're Amish. And they live in the Amish that like them people is super sufficient.
Yeah.
Super self-sufficient, right? So would they be considered the ideal freedom in this country for blacks? They live off their own, you know what I'm saying? Like
now
remove
what we say what we say. That would be that's the and see this goes to what we were kind of talking about this the other day and I can't even remember what the conversation was. I think it was something in relationships. If people could there's systems and outcomes. There was 2 clips I dropped and me and Bree were having a little back and forth about it. If people understood that what they're doing, there is no other outcome for the behavior that you're doing other than the one that you're getting, which is why that saying is doing the same thing and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. What you're doing currently is creating your outcomes, whatever the dynamic is, wherever the environment. I know that bioculturans, the biology, the culture, and the environment have a very specific makeup, and this specific relationship that you have currently is creating the outcomes. The only way to change the outcomes will be to change either the biology, the culture, or the environment. So black people say we want these things. We want our conservative values We want autonomy and self-sufficiency. We want to blah blah blah. We don't want people pocketing and shaking their behind. We don't want them twerking. Blah. It would look a lot like this because a lot of it's religious coded.
Right.
And then when we get this, we still shun it because it feels restricted.
Right.
So we don't actually want what we think we want. We want a combination of things that are dissimilar. We want the permissive American freedoms, and we want this moral, upstanding, virtuous lifestyle, and we want this freedom and autonomy outside of capitalism, but we want the comforts and amenities of capitalism. So there's a lot of things that don't go together. Speaking of biracial, things that just don't go together. We it's oil and water. They don't mix. Some things mix, some things don't. Man, shout out to Von Eric in the building. Yeah, because I will never forget that conversation we were having, and the people were talking about taking down capitalism while using all of the tools of capitalism and going to work to feed capitalism. Like how?
Yeah. I don't have no problem. Like I'm cool with it. Like my family got a little homestead in the country. They got the hell on. I just don't like the whole idea of like random strangers on the internet trying to get people they don't know to get together. But family units, you can start there. Like I'm sure this was just a couple or two that was like we finna do something different.
Yep.
And then you start having kids, and then that's how you do it. It's not about rallying a bunch of people to grift together. So now I'm cool with this. I'm trying to figure out if they sell them sweaters. Let me hit them up.
That sweater's nice.
That shit look nicely made.
I
bet her grandma made that shit too.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah, so
I've been stitching for 30 years.
Yeah, because I'm pro solvency, which is like basically being able to self-sustain and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm cool with this. It's not for me. I don't need that, but
right now that's
I'm
and
cool with it.
And right, and you got it in your own version and own way. You know what I'm saying? I know it wouldn't be like you probably said it best. Like if it the problem is that people trying to get on the bus. All right, y'all, we got a bus going out to the woods. Nigga, just pack up and go.
That sounds like a scary movie beginning.
For real. Most of them. Even the movie Get on the Bus, it ended up bad.
I mean, well, yeah. Did.
So it's the ideal situation, but we know that as like the modern black person, I guess, like the modern woman, the modern black person, we like, I need to be on YouTube to be able to talk shit, to be able to tell these women they ain't shit. I'll be damned if I give up. I'll be damned if I give up this electricity, first of all.
But they got electricity.
Yeah, they not completely Amish. It looks like they bought on some conservatism.
Yeah. Their furnishings look store-bought. They don't all look handcrafted.
It's not as bad as the cold girls in the basement.
That's the only room they got.
It's not giving cold girls in the basement like on Heritage.
They had a whole stage. Listen.
That's the only room they're allowed to have. That's the only amount of electricity. The only electricity.
They have a whole stage somewhere.
That ain't that's it.
I can't stand it.
They be outside. They be in videos outside in the streets.
That's it. They have very specific places. It's like, okay.
Nah, I'm cool with that. I looked at their grandparents. Their grandparents are very much so black. Some white woman got slid up in the camp. Is that what happened?
Yeah, something.
She having all the kids. What the dark skinned kids at? What? The white lady that had all the kids?
No, there's some dark skin.
Damn, they were
okay.
Yeah, there's dark skinned kids.
Okay. I mean, a lot of them light though. I said that one lady must have been busting it open for the whole camp.
So you got people with short hair, little thick. You know, they got them all shape, sizes, heights, colors, hair lengths, hair types.
It ain't as Children of the Corn as I thought it was.
No, they got on pink, so they all right with me.
Niggas are the pinto bean. I don't know, like it wouldn't be like
Niggas are the pinto bean.
Niggas are the cotton.
I mean, they dress like what's that man?
No,
I hate y'all so much. Do they know Toby them?
sorry,
Because ain't that how Toby
Oh,
whatever
shit.
that man him his family be dressing like that too?
Toby Inigwe,
Whatever
Igwe.
his African name is, yeah.
Toby and
Him
Fat,
and they be dressing like that.
Yeah, they
Nah,
color
I'm
is
telling you.
I don't know.
turquoise.
I can't
Nah, she
remember
right though.
their religion.
They definitely look. They definitely look like they have a special meeting in the morning. Like every.
It's a look.
Right.
It's a definite look. It's a definite. They have a culture and a code, but I would bet there's probably not a high degree of teen pregnancy. Like I just know a lot of the social ills that we complain about are eliminated with the way that they're living their lives. Now, do we want to live the lives that they live? Maybe not, but there are trade-offs to the way that we live and versus the way that they live. And I think some of that needs to be acknowledged, that we can't have everything at the same time. We have to give up some things to get others. But let's start this real quick. And it's only like the first few minutes, because again, behind this is a skit. We're not doing like 3 minutes and 30 seconds of this.
Hi, welcome back to Gotta Be Me podcast. We are so happy and excited to be here with you today. We have an extra special episode for you. It's actually not even a podcast. We just want to provide this intro so y'all know what's going on. Recently, we had a super viral video. We had a couple of our friends on, and we talked about, they gave their message to other young Black women, because that's what they are, talking about hair, and it went viral. There was a lot of questions, a lot of hate actually. And so we prepared a whole presentation with the help of Brother Steph, which we presented, and we are so excited to share with you. We feel like we really pulled it off, and it was super powerfully written.
So good. We talked about the subject of what is Blackness, who is Black, how are we going to celebrate Black History Month if we can't agree on who is Black?
So this is a super good production. Please sit back and enjoy.
What would y'all say if you could talk to like other young Black girls who are looking for like good examples? Like, what would you say to them?
I just wish the Black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful, like eyebrows. Like, you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like, just the way you are.
So if you want to speak on Black women's hair and beauty standards, first I'm going to need you to decolonize your mind, especially if you're a biracial woman who has benefited from this system her entire life.
I'm not listening to 5 girls tell me how to be a Black girl when they mama or their daddy or one of their parents had to lay down with a colonizer to give them the look that they look, to tell me how to look.
To be gifted and blind.
You can't speak on what Black women go through.
You do not get to come get and say what we should or we should not be doing.
Let alone Black women living as biracial Amish women being raised by white women outside of the regular world. How the hell you gonna talk about us?
Not that freeze frame.
If y'all keep treating light-skinned women like they are not part of our community, then it's going to cause even bigger issues within our community.
Y'all all up there look like y'all came from a white lady. No, hey, your hair don't look like mine. Your hair ain't like a lot of Black women.
I'm sick of seeing women that look like me, with skin like mine, with hair like mine, with features like mine.
You have something to say to this gentleman?
Yeah, we can sit this one out, G. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how much you feel
He's
like
one of the girls.
You don't care how much you feel like you in the game, G. Sit this one out. You can sit this one out.
Worlds.
I swear you can sit this one out.
No, he's one of the worlds.
I swear you can sit this one out. I swear you could.
Yellow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Yeah, you can sit some of them out. Some of these games you can sit out. Yeah, some of these games you can sit out.
I'm these games before.
Yeah. You can sit this one out. Cause he like your hair ain't like mine. Well, your genitals ain't like hers.
You also got a beard.
Fuck up, nigga. Shit, right? Like shut the fuck up. Damn.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know.
Shit. Like just have an opinion, but I ain't sitting here like cause you, dude. Like no, I'm sorry. I just had to say it. Feel how you want to feel.
Yeah.
This no. Watch from like you said, sometimes just be in the stands. You can watch the game, you can have commentary on the game from the stands.
Yeah.
He like, I want to play.
Boo.
Like, no, nigga, sit your ass down.
Boo, you can hear. Yeah, he jumped in the game, man. He walked off
Sit
the
your
bench.
ass down. Shut your words. That's black code right there. What this means? They're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's too funny. I got you. I hear you though. That's fair. That's fair.
Talking about black women.
I feel like anytime somebody that's like lighter than the paper bag doesn't agree with y'all, the first thing y'all say is you're not black.
So for you to be speaking on the black experience and you're not black, it's crazy to me.
You don't know what black girl magic is. You know white woman voodoo.
You have very few black features.
None of them are dark. None of them are fully black.
Do you bitches know that you are biracial?
You're only half black.
Light-skinned faces.
You're not full black. Light
This
skin.
black bitch come up and talk.
We are not the same.
If you're lighter than a paper bag, what's the problem?
They kept receipts.
Yeah.
They kept all the receipts.
Juan just said,
boom. We can drop that
They
down.
kept
So
all the receipts.
yeah, I mean, because again, having your blackness challenged, it as we've seen on this channel, it gets offensive. Like, it gets it wears on you, and they're young, and they probably already get a lot of flack just for being different culturally. Like whether it's Amish or whatever religious sect or conservatism, whatever their group apart. And I can't remember it. I dropped the link to their channel if y'all want to figure it out. Y'all can. It was never that important to me. But I know for a lot of people, it might be. But whatever it is, they're living a little different. They're getting judged for that. They don't get to live the lives other people do. They don't have the same cultural freedoms. They don't have the same relevance and resonance to typical, I guess, normalized black culture. You know, so I don't know what they get to listen to, what all they watch, but it's different. And a lot of people espouse having children that could carry themselves. Most people will run across those. If all the black kids weren't still not all, I was about to say something very inflammatory and racist. If we didn't have this opinion of young black people out here wilding out, the YNs and Kia boys stealing cars, if we didn't have that opinion, a lot of people will run across young girls like that. It would be like, oh, you're so well behaved and you're so well spoken, and a lot of people would esteem that. But because they have an opinion, it's like they're getting trashed. One girl called them bitches. Like, bitches? Like, they were up there just sitting classy and having a thoughtful conversation about things that they are akin to. They are black. And all of them do not have some of them have some kinky puffs on the back of their braids. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of them were not just sitting there throwing some water on their head and running the combs front to back. We saw some kinky puffs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we talking about? And some of, like, in the little skit thing, when we pulled them up, some of them had hair straightening. So I mean, it's still something. They still have to deal with black hair, black features, black skin. They still dealing with colorism, and they can't even be black and conservatively live. Conservative values, not conservative politically. I don't even know what they are politically. I don't really think they speak to politics a lot. They might be outside of the political system, or they don't really engage like that. But with that all being said, what do y'all think about the backlash they got? The ferocity of some of it, and even like the direction. It was all intra-racial violence. What do y'all think about that? As far as for the severe, like for what they said, it makes sense. Start with the descendant of slaves up here.
It's kind of difficult because I was on their Instagram and looking at their parents and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know what made them have this conversation, but they're too outside of it to me. Like,
okay.
But like, once again, nothing they said was groundbreaking or even that deep. It was just like, I mean, you could say this about any race of women. They could just be like, oh, women, you don't need eyelashes and weaves and makeup. You're beautiful the way you are. Like, And it could have just been like it wasn't nothing crazy. It's like it wasn't even nothing that hasn't been said before.
Right.
So I'm not. I mean, the response is crazy. It's like projections, but at the same time, like I do think it's interesting that they feel like seeing kind of where they from. I'm like, where is this coming from? Because your mama's not white, like. Where
your
is
mama's
this
not black or your mama's not white?
I mean, your mama's not black. Like,
okay,
where is this? Like,
where is the concern about what are they seeing?
Yeah, like, where is this just a hot topic that you knew would just like blow up? It was a hot button issue because you ain't seen no women in your culture that you are secluded in struggling with this stuff. So I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean?
But they have a TikTok and a YouTube, so they would still have exposure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was about to say, it feels like what it would feel like if white girls sit around and talking about black women's struggles with their beauty. Once again, which is fine. Anybody can have an opinion, but for me, it's just really hard to get. Like, it doesn't get a response from me. It just kind of feels like, how is this relevant to you? Like, I don't know. It is landing on me more like some white girls or some Korean people or something was just talking about what they see black women struggle with. And I mean, anybody can have an opinion. It don't trigger me. It would get that response from me, but that's just what it feels like to me. It's just like, this isn't something you've seen people struggle with or you struggle with. Like, it's not a part of your culture. So it's just like, this is just a hot button issue that you just give me your opinion on, and okay. Like, I don't know. It just feels weird. But not in a triggering negative way. Just like in a okay.
All right. I can understand that and respect that. What about you, Yellow? What you think?
Yeah, it was crazy seeing the response to them saying what they said, because it wasn't a don't. It was a you don't have to. You don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's 100% true. Because some black women feel like they have to wear all that extra shit. And let's call it what it is. They feel like they have to wear it. That's why Jesse Wu was out here like, if he wants you to wear your natural face. I seen her natural face. She's beautiful. But she also got a disposition where that's what she feel like she got to put on. So where do you balance the, hey, you look really nice without it? You don't need it. But when you defend it so strongly like that, it do come across like, well, damn, do you feel like you need it then?
Mm-hmm.
Because the response is you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? You could be natural and still be beautiful. You don't have to supplement none of that. So it was wild. And then it's like, it gets so lost that you start to see when the one light-skinned chick popped up calling them out their name. I'm like, you look just like you look just like but, you look just like them. You could be sitting up there with them.
I think she was trolling. Like, so I think she did the hair like them and put on the black outfit to look like them. I think she was trying to be funny.
But that's what I'm saying. Their hairstyles ain't no different from any other light-skinned chick hairstyles. They don't have no different type of hairstyles. They should braid it up like any other black girl hair would be.
Yeah.
Because then what are we defining as black girl hairstyles? Because if I started defining black girl hairstyles, those same people who was getting on them about their hair not looking a certain way would jump down my throat and tell me that I shouldn't be defining what black girls' hair should be. Black girl can wear whatever that black women, because so it's like, nobody can say nothing.
Yeah.
You can't take the outside observation. You can't take the internal criticism. So, and then it really don't matter if she looks like them or not, because we've seen examples of them being the same type of, the same shade, hair, 4C, whatever hair qualification, they meet all of the qualifications. But as soon as they have a criticism, it's
you ain't
come
like
at
us.
Yeah, you ain't like us. You turn or against us. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it kind of takes away from as a man, like as a black man, kind of takes away from the ability to be empathetic to the entire plight when y'all fighting each other. I can't help you if y'all fighting each other on this.
Yeah, because I'm further
on shit
outside.
like this. Yeah, I'm further outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was talking about with the trauma dating, like those layers of dating, like those layers of trauma that you would kind of encounter, like dating, like the wig story I told when old girl just would not get her hair done.
Yeah.
It wasn't a clear message on where she felt with that, on how she felt with that, but it's got to be something. It's got to be something in that realm. Either that or she was just lazy as fuck.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with you, and I want to ask this question. And Bree, I'll start with you as the representative. You know, as the Black Girl Magic on the panel, as the representative of all Black thought, Black woman opinion, Black woman perspective.
Okay.
The entire suffrage movement for Black women, womanism, feminism through the Black
I was
lens,
definitely there for the women's
all of
suffrage.
that, all of that, from Madam C.J. Walker to now. I need you to encapsulate, be every woman, like Shaka Khan is saying. Is the speaking on Black woman issues, because like men have been talked about like dogs forever, but we've also been highlighted as the heroes forever. So there's balance. So we get talked about like dogs were stupid, lazy, incapable. That's been, the trope that's been a comedy trope forever. But we've also had the heroes to balance it out. So we got to look up to men and we look down on men at the same time. So for me, there's some kind of equity there. There's some kind of alchemy, equity, whatever you want to call it. There's some kind of fairness at play. But women typically did not get to be the heroes, heroines of the story. And they were like the nags, the harpies, or the sexual sirens, something like that. So when it comes to representation, I guess it's a two-pronged question. Is this not the outcome of not having your voice silenced to being heard and to being seen? Doesn't the outcome naturally be criticism? Hey, you're visible now. You're going to get criticized because now people are looking at you and hearing what you have to say. That's one, the first part. And then the second part is there an outsized criticism or critique of Black women? Like, is the defensiveness of like, why are we always being talked about? Why are we being brought up unprovoked? Is that a fair pushback? So go ahead, jump on that.
The problem with it is just like it's an oversimplified thing a lot of times, and it's just annoying hearing it. It's annoying hearing people make the same criticism and keep on pretending it's the reason that it is, and it's not that reason. It's like, it's kind of like when we were having the love and deep space conversation, and like I kept being othered in the conversation. I felt like because I was being put outside of the people who the game is for, and most of the people who play the game, where I feel like I am the people who is for and people who play the game. And it's like, I'm telling you why I play this game. This is the reason most of the people play this game. And it's the same thing with the makeup and the hair and the wigs commentary. It's like, bitch, ain't nobody doing this shit. Because we don't, it's like, yes, there are some women who, it's like the systems thing, the feedback loop. Like, you might get used to seeing yourself with makeup, so you don't want to see yourself without makeup, but then you don't necessarily have this deep thing that I'm ugly without makeup. Like, you might walk around all the time without makeup, but when you present on camera or for an event, you put on makeup, and then people are just like, you don't have to wear makeup. And it's like, bitch, I know. I woke up this morning without it. I walked around all fucking day without it. And when I came out to talk to your dusty ass, I put it on. And now you acting like this is the only reason I put it on, because I think something's wrong with me. It's like really annoying. It's really annoying. And I think that's why this has become such a tired talking point to us, because it's so oversimplified that women wear makeup because they don't think they're beautiful. And it's like, no, that is no. And it's like that whole system feedback loop thing where, yes, like, it's like the nuance of how the system creates the people in the that whole thing we talked about. Yes, like historically we had to present a way to be professional. So we are also people who are made from the system that told us we have to present a certain way. So we were born into that. We exist within that. And then we're like, okay, we didn't have no other choice. But then somewhere along the line, culturally, we took it on as we also enjoyed this thing. So now culturally is not that, but it's just like people won't move on with the culture. Like the younger people, the people who are acting out the culture in real time determine what the culture is. Just like I can't tell them kids gat don't mean that. Y'all can't tell us the only reason we wear makeup is because we don't think we're beautiful. It's the same thing. So it just gets annoying. Like that's why the conversation is so tiring.
Okay. I can, as you talk, because I have obviously just gender bias. I have opposite feelings of what you just said. But I hear in what you said that on the social level, women will fashion themselves to appease the social gaze, but it doesn't declare a deficiency of the personal gaze.
Right.
Like I don't look at myself as less than, but I know when I go out into society, people see me as less than. So I'm going to perform to the social gaze.
It's like a civilized, cordial thing. There was a study that actually found that women who did not put on makeup were found to be more psychopathic. Like,
because it's a social norm kind of behavior.
It's a social thing. It would be like
shaking hands,
speak
saying
when you
hello.
come in the room, right? Because like to me, it would be disrespectful to show up. Like if I walk with a certain standard of when I go out and I look put together, this is how I look. Let's just say I had a standard for looking put together, and I went on a date with somebody and I didn't at least look put together. That would be disrespectful because I don't care enough about our time to look put together.
Got you.
So
like the lady that intentionally wore a bonnet and she was trying to be funny. Got you.
Right. And for a lot of women, being put together is some degree of makeup. So we do that to look put together. It's a social thing. It's not always this deep insecurity thing. Like it's a social thing.
Yeah, because sometimes it's also like a signal of effort. Like this is
it's
how
a signal of effort.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why it's frustrating because it's a more nuanced thing. And then of course there's always the extremes. Like there's the women who never go without makeup. And like of course that's probably more of an insecure thing. But it, like I said, it just always feels like everybody gets turned into those extreme women in the conversation.
Yeah. I like my gender bias saying it's not as extreme as you think, but I hear you.
I think it's more it's more usual. Like a lot of women are insecure about their appearance in general, their bodies in general. So that's what I mean. Like, but so what I'm saying in extreme is like for makeup specifically. If you never feel like you can't wear it, that would be an extreme like response.
I hear you.
But yeah,
no, I hear you. I think my gender bias, even though it may be accurate, it's imprecise in that it doesn't account for the fairness of having insecurity when the whole society is telling you to be insecure about this thing. Like be insecure about your natural face because you don't ever see a photo that ain't been touched up, retouched, filtered, right angle, right light. Like how could you not? So I'm
it's
with
literally
you.
not normal for women to be seen without makeup.
Yeah.
Like that's why when people had a conversation, they act like they don't notice. Like Pamela Anderson has been walking red carpets with no makeup on, and she be looking crazy as hell. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and then we had these conversations and people be gaslighting. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care what you say. If somebody is on and they don't have on makeup, I'd be like something wrong.
Man,
these girls, as soon as they came up on my screen because of how they present, I knew they was on some other shit. I'm not gonna say something wrong, but they on some other shit. Pamela Anderson on some other shit.
Man, listen.
So that just tells you socially it's an expectation.
Yeah. Because I've seen some of the no makeup episodes of people's TV shows. I remember I mentioned The View, but I've seen some other ones, and they'd be like, "Ooh, I didn't even know what you look like." Like, whoa,
you looking real tired out here.
I mean, because I used to watch Big Brother, and I had me a little crush on Julie Chen until I saw the no makeup episode, and I was like, "Oh, I don't even like Julie Chen. I like Julie Chen's makeup." like the look that they put together for Julie Chen. It's very appealing. But Julie Chen herself, well, that was a little Korean boy. Like that
exactly.
was
No,
you know what I'm saying? It was.
I mean, most people, for people who are homogeneous, they look alike a lot without makeup. So it's just like makeup does a lot of things. I don't generally present without any makeup. A lick of makeup on? Yeah. Not really happening unless something wrong. I'm sick, tired, whatever. So I just hate when we have these conversations. We add like we don't know that it's not socially acceptable to just be walking around bare face. It's just weird. It's weird. I won't say it's not socially acceptable. It's weird.
I'm with you. I ain't gonna call it weird or not. Like, I don't agree that it's not socially acceptable or weird. I just think it's no longer the norm to participate in society in like functions, like work, social functions. People show up with a little bit of effort put into their appearance. A guy that tapering his haircut, edging his beard up. There's some level of cleaning yourself up.
And it's never been that way from women. Like it's never been a time where women showed up without makeup. Except slavery, probably.
Yeah.
Sure, the slaves didn't put on light makeup before they woke up.
Right. Let's see. I'm about to hit the field. Let me
put a little something on. Like, but otherwise, makeup has been a thing for women always, unless something is wrong, like you are a slave or you are unwell.
I can respect that. What about you, Yellow? Is any of that like land on you? Is any you like where you at with that? I mean, I like that argument. That's fair. I like that argument.
Yeah, no, like I understand that it's been something that's been socially acclimated for women since women were socially acclimated. You know what I'm saying? Type thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem. That's what I'm saying. It's more or less like I understood the message for if somebody's feeling down about it. You know what I'm saying? The message can be applied in a good way. Like that's how I heard it. That's why I was like, I closed my eyes. I was like, let me hear this from somebody else's perspective. Let me hear this coming out of let me AI in my brain, another face. You know what I'm saying?
You apply the filter.
Yeah, I applied a filter to that. Which if applying a filter to, if that's what we do, you know what I'm saying? Ladies always applying filters nowadays. So I did it. Did it myself. You know what I'm saying? I Instagram filtered it myself. And I seen that if there's a young Black girl who is sitting up and she's like, that could be time consuming as well, having to put together makeup and spend it, because like Kendra saying, my wig $2,000, my nails are $300. I'm pretty sure we ain't living at that level on a regular basis, but that's also time consuming to get that done, get that installed. Some of that stuff, if you don't find the right stuff, mess up their skin. You know what I'm saying? Too much use of it over time, mess up their skin. So like it could be a lot. Plus the pressure of having to wear it all the time.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Hopefully that message landed on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, oh, okay, that's right. You know, I'm with that. So, but I understand having to do it as well, almost, because you do. It is shocking when you see a woman without makeup nowadays. I'm just saying nowadays.
I mean, nobody's like, if people come to work without makeup and they usually look weird, I'd be like, yeah, I ain't tired. I mean, you get used to seeing somebody with it. It's gonna be shocking when they don't have it on. Versus if you always see them without it. Then it obviously isn't shocking. It's just what your mind get used to. When you think of what this person looks like, you're gonna think they look like what they usually look like. And if you only see them in certain situations, then you gonna think they look like how they look with they like makeup on or whatever. So, you know, I mean, it's either or. But I mean, I teach my kids to fashion themselves before they leave the house at least a little bit. So I'm not in that group. Don't wear makeup, man. Fuck out of here. Shut up. People treat you nice when you look good. Shut up. People treat you better when you look good and you smell good.
I mean,
if you got to put some concealer on, put the damn concealer on.
That is fair.
And we as Black folks, we apply stuff to us all the time. Lotion, Vaseline.
Normal. That's what's like.
Yeah. Because not being ashy.
We're doing this for social currency.
Jesus Christ.
Like, let's not pretend. If we was all in the house just by ourselves. We be sitting around funky,
bro.
Whatever, raw.
I was lotioning right before we started the stream. I was like, if I put my hand up here and it's ashy, it's over with.
Okay,
over
exactly. I'm sorry. I'm not in that pro. Don't wear anything. No.
Light skin, you don't get ashy. We don't get ashy. Light skin.
I mean, my child be ashy. I can see
it.
She'll grow out of it. Kids be ashy.
I was going to say, shit.
Kids be ashy.
But nah, I'm pro that. Like, nah, man, you don't have to walk around. Like, especially as women, I feel like it's a privilege to wear makeup. Men don't get to wear makeup, and we say, "Oh, y'all ugly."
Yeah, y'all do. Hey, so anybody in the chat, we blew Bree's mind. Because, like, speaking of perspective and gender stuff, we blew Bree's mind the other day. Because we were talking about, I think we were talking about photos or something. But women think they think we're ugly, medium ugly. Women have really never seen us from the ideal angle. Because, anytime they take photos, it's looking down and towards your favorite side of the face, the better side of the face. Women never get to see us looking down because they all want a taller dude. So they're always looking up at that that photo angle that we all try to hide because it gives us it just looks ugly. Women always see us from the ugly angle. We all look at women from the pretty angle. We're looking down on them, and they typically always favor their favorite side.
It on the dating show. I want a man taller than me because I don't need him seeing me at my ugly angle.
Mm-hmm.
Look down on me, so I look slimmer in the face.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they subconsciously know that though.
Yeah, I think it's a subconscious thing we know.
Because they know it's a bad angle. Because how do they take selfies?
That's what I was saying.
Yep.
That's what made me realize it. I was
in
like,
there. It's a feeling. God. Yeah, it's a feeling.
Which is why they say
even when I wear heels, I want you to still look down at me from a good angle. Which is why they look for not just a couple inches higher. They want the angle that they pick their pictures from. I need to look up to you like my camera. Like it's being trained into them. It's weird, man.
Yeah,
it's weird.
But I think it's a privilege.
It's
I
real.
think it's nice to be able to transform yourself and cover up little stuff and it be socially like, right. He ain't finna be looking at my under chin. He is not finna be looking at my under chin.
Yo, midnight. Hey, listen, if you find a dude
to see this little part right here. You get to see this little part right here.
He don't need to see that. That's for God.
That's your double over when your head down a little bit.
That's for God.
That little hidden second chin back
but
there.
See, if you laying down, the gravity helps slim stuff down in a different way. So it's different when you standing versus when you're laying down. Even titties look different when you're laying down versus when you're standing.
That's fast.
Right.
So
we got to keep the good angles. I'm just saying. So it's a privilege. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be teaching my daughters never to wear makeup. Fuck out of here.
Ooh.
I already told one of them, girl, you need to clean them eyebrows. Look, girl.
Hey, not too much on her eyebrows because that's the light skin one. I know it is. To get up, we can leave her eyebrows alone.
No, that's a 15-year-old. She got them full young eyebrows, man. Teenager eyebrows be on 10. I said, girl, we got to.
Nah, but she got taller than you, right?
Yeah, she taller than me.
So did you look at her from the right angle? Because if you're looking at her eyebrows from
no, this is before she got taller than me.
Okay.
When we was about face to face. That's what I'm saying. It's like your body knows. We was face to face, and it's like it's time. It's time for you to start grooming yourself because
she wasn't at the cute angle no more.
Yeah, she wasn't at the cute angle no more. I was like, ooh, you looking.
You gotta start grooming. That's messed up. Oh my God, that's so messed up. Once you pass the cute angle, that's so messed up. Okay, you in the ugly angle of society now.
Like, hey, look now.
We're
gonna start seeing it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They're gonna be able to look up your nostrils. Your nostrils gonna be seen. Everybody go. What's in there?
Up in their nostrils. I be in people's nostrils. I'm short.
That's why,
I didn't realize it was so weird.
That's why, fellas, you got to keep the.
I know. I be like, King, the hair, sir.
But that's my trick though, right? Since y'all do see I told you about this. Not only do it make the beard look fuller, but it had the double chin, and it had the fact that I really ain't got no chin under here, y'all.
Yeah, it's effective.
There's nothing worse than a weak chin.
Yeah, I ain't say weak. I just say no chin.
No, I'm just saying.
See,
her mind immediately went to weak.
No woman can properly repeat.
No.
She see everything.
It never
But
happened.
anyways, but that's the frustration with it. I'm not really. I hate that overcorrection. Don't wear anything. Like, man, shut the hell up, y'all. You attracted psychopaths and weirdos when you walk around out here looking dusty as fuck.
Yeah. Now y'all can't pull it off. We rather y'all do what y'all. We rather y'all do your best.
We can't pull it off. Like, can we? We know.
No.
I said all of y'all can't pull it off. That's what he said. We know everybody can't pull it off.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
Everybody can't pull it. I'd rather you do the best you can with what you got, even if, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I want you to see this because this was a lady, I guess, in defiance of the video. She made this. I thought it was interesting because I was like, man, the effort thing. I'm lazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this right here. Hold up. So
you don't.
He's talking about I'm lazy.
A black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful. Like eyebrows. Like, you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like, just the way you are. And that's not black girl magic either. Black girl magic is natural. Like, it looks way better.
Yeah. I also think that they've talked themselves into, and they can't talk themselves out of. I think they know that being natural and being with no makeup and all this stuff is beautiful, but they've been told and they've been shown like this is beautiful.
They've just been
so
shown
they can't get their mind off of it.
They just want to fit in. That's true.
I mean, that's what everybody's doing, right?
Because even like we've never grown up with wigs. We've never grown up with fake eyelashes. And in our minds, we know natural. You know, we know
we've
it's
always
beautiful.
been natural, right?
We know we know it's the way to go. But we're still affected by it. We're still like.
And imagine if we hadn't grown up this way, how affected we'd be by it. Like if it was our moms doing it, or our sisters, or our best friend at school. Like that would be. How do you even fight that alone?
I was like, man, that's a lot. I'm not.
It is a lot.
I'm not doing all that before I go out the house. I'm like, okay.
I heard some different stuff in there. I don't know why I heard that different that time.
Because you weren't looking at them or thinking about them being on the screen.
That's what I was trying to listen to. That's what I was trying to listen to what they were saying.
Yeah.
I heard them say it's better. It's the right way to go.
Yeah. I know I spoke on that part because it's like saying it was the right way. How could you know it was the right way unless you've done the other way?
Right. Okay.
You only know one way.
Right. Remember, y'all was having the conversation. I hadn't seen the clip, so like y'all was running through it. I was like, "That's okay." All right. I got you. All right. Okay. I see what pissed him off now. All right.
Yeah, it's the right way to go. Girl, how old are you?
Right.
All right.
Go do some homework.
Probably could drag them a little bit. They probably could get dragged a little bit.
I would drag them more for being young and not having no life experience than they raised. I'm like, girl, what are you like? 16, girl? You ain't got no wrinkles or nothing yet.
Yeah.
Your collagen levels all high. Girl, shut up.
Yeah. I can understand what Bree was saying. Like taking the perspective, I wouldn't have acted so on the dude side. When I see the red pill dudes and they're like 18 to 23 and they say some really crazy stuff, like I'm like, okay, they don't know anything yet. Like they had the heartbreak once and then they went to the extreme edge of the pool. I'm like, okay, I couch that and I don't even really react to it because I know that's the inexperience talking. I know that's ignorance. So it was, for me, it was weird to see people come so hard at these young ladies, and they are ladies, like they're women, all girls. Why do they stop getting the protection of being black women because they said something in critique of black women? Like that was problematic for me. But I also, like, their youth should have given them some, okay, I ain't even really going to address this. But I think it was a lot of people that felt strongly about it. And I wonder, though, like, with all the effort that black women are putting into appearance, like, is that, I'm feeling like there's something else there. Like, I get the whole, that you're tired of hearing the insecurity, like, but like to that lady doing her whole wig thing, like, that's a lot of effort. And I think if people are spending the money, like $3,000 wigs, $200, if you're spending that kind of money and you're doing that kind of effort and the time it takes, I could also see what they call it, the sunk cost fallacy. Like if you're investing so much time and energy and money into this thing, and then somebody, you're doing this, you're sinking the time, the money into it for a reason, whatever the reason is, whether it's founded or unfounded, you're doing it, you're spending the money. you're going to give that more emotional weight because of your investment in it. Your time and your money is going to make the thing more important. So even if it's based on insecurity, the time and the money you spend more important. So I can see also, I'm saying that gives me perspective on the proportionality of the response. Why I could be so angry. Man, I done spent thousands of dollars on this. You gonna tell me I ain't gotta do it because I think I'm insecure? I could see being offended if I spent like thousands of dollars and hours upon hours, and it's impacted my life and made me late to things, and people are looking at me like, I could see like the downstream effects of why I could get to where some of these people got to. Like, bitch, like, I could see that on some level.
Yeah, but existing as a woman is a lot of effort. So I don't see it as she would save it. You're not gonna save it because you're gonna either go sit in the salon for fucking 6 hours on the Saturday and spend $150 for a press and perm. Like, it's so ingrained into womanhood that it's not something we even seek to save time on. Like, actually, that wig install saves time. It's much faster than styling. I mean, you've heard me and Anya talk about doing the
4
style
hours
with your own natural.
Yeah,
that's 4 hours at least. If you
crazy.
go to a shop, it's about 4. It takes me 4 hours to get my hair straightened from beginning to end. So we're not saving it. Like, the wig install is actually fast.
Yeah, I would be
when
bald.
you start. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like,
that's
what so it's also like the experience of, we don't look at it as something we can avoid. Like, it's so it's like
it's
that wig install. It's actually that's actually the fastest thing you can do for your hair is put on a wig. Even with that install, it might take like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. I mean, that's not nothing. You usually would do that in steps. Like, you would do some of that stuff. You be putting on your makeup while you waiting on the glue to sit and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's actually not crazy. But you got to look at what you comparing it to. You comparing it to sitting in the shop for 5 hours or doing 4 hours just to wear your natural hair just for that shit to puff up when you leave because it's raining today. Like, man, fuck all that. Then your hair break anyway because it don't like being messed with that often. So the more you do it, the more it break. Then you can't grow it.
Okay.
So now you got to wear fucking locks or keep that shit braided under a wig and it'll grow. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of you got. It's like a whole thing.
It's a culture thing. It's
Our
a whole
hair,
culture thing we don't have.
Yeah, our hair is a constant struggle for us. Like, and that's what I think a lot of people miss. Like, the wig is our way of, because we can't just. I mean, we can shave our head, but that's obviously not the norm. So
absolutely,
the wig is the shaving the head
than not doing the makeup.
Right. So shaving the wig is shaving your head. That's slap on a wig and keep it pushing. It's like as low maintenance as you're gonna get as a black woman. Probably cheapest too.
Man, that's crazy.
I mean, what my wigs cost? I mean, I have cheap wigs, like the little pink ones, but I mean, my human hair wigs cost like $200. That's not crazy.
Man. But that's something that it serves you. How long does that? What's the?
I mean, it lasts because you could keep washing it. I mean, sometimes it sheds, so I mean, it can last some years. You're not wearing it all the time. I mean, you take care of them. You can wash human hair wigs over and over. So, like, I generally keep my wigs. I just have more. But I'm just saying, like, my human hair wigs, they're about $200. But when I go get my hair pressed, that's $180.
Yeah, and you got to do that frequently.
I got to do that. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I'm like, that money ain't being. You not saving that money. Like, you either gonna spend it on the wig, you're gonna spend it on the stylist, you're gonna spend it on the hair. Like, you gonna spend that money.
I see what you're saying. It's like when people do that thing about spending a gang of money on something that's high quality, or you like keep getting that mid-tier stuff that you got to keep replacing or that wears down more frequently.
Right.
So
exactly.
Okay, I get you. No, that makes some sense. All right, you done talk some sense into me. Now, as far as the video and the backlash they got, was there anything else you like? Because we got through what I wanted to talk about mostly before I even played the clip. Was there anything that y'all like that came up that y'all wanted to chop up or touch on, say, get off your chest? Y'all, if y'all feel
since we in overtime. Since
we in overtime. Oh no, don't do it.
I feel like I can trigger Bree because she might still be hot about this. Bree.
Yeah.
What would you do at age 57? What are your plans for being age 57?
I've been 38 for about 4 years. Dang. So I've been trying to be 38 for 4 years.
I swear she is.
I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite there yet. But I'm looking forward to just being old. I don't know what it's gonna look like. So hopefully it just being me and my husband, and we'll be doing old people shit. I don't even know what 57-year-olds do besides my mom, and she never sitting down. Maybe I'll be gardening and stuff. I feel like that's appropriate activities for 57-year-old gardening.
It feels appropriate.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be making some wine or something. Just something like that. Something cute at the house. Knitting or something.
So Oscar-winning actress wouldn't be on. It wouldn't be on your.
You got to be some kind of stupid.
Okay, so let me.
This Rashawn fault. This why I don't need internet friends, because that would have never came up in my algorithm.
Yeah.
Because the video too long. Because the video too long. Video too long.
Video is long. Video is long.
Video long. Yeah. We don't.
Can we just at least see the screen so you can see how pitiful she is? I was just gonna go find so you can just see
pull
her
it up
face.
real quick.
I'm gonna pull it up, but go ahead.
Okay, so this lady,
I'll be right back.
This lady who's 50 years old, quits her corporate job and moves to Atlanta just on a whim to become an actress. So I don't know who you finna go act for, because Tyler Perry is the only nigga making movies in Atlanta right now. So if you thought you was gonna go work for Tyler Perry, like, what was going on? Fast forward 7 years. This lady then bounced around from job to job. She done been homeless. I believe how she told the story. She in Atlanta, and I know this might sound bad, but this is just me putting together the story, how she told it. She said she was living with some people, and she didn't want to mention who they were specifically, and something happened between them. But it was a she, and the she said she didn't want to. The she in question said that Miss Celeste here, who is this lady right here, she didn't want her living in the house. But she moved there in anyway. And I believe it's probably some lesbian chick. Like, I believe like she found a girlfriend down there because, times got tough.
Oh, so you just decided she found a girlfriend in Atlanta?
It was a she?
I mean, maybe she was just a nice person. Women should be moving in with women because we
yeah, but she also said she didn't want her to move in with her.
Oh, well, yeah. You're right. There really is no other context for this, because if she was looking for a roommate, because if she was like willing to take a person a room, then why wouldn't she want her to? Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the hair and the shirt.
Like a complete stranger.
Yeah. I'm looking at her being. I'm like, yes.
I thought you heard something. You just kind of pieced that together.
Doing his yellow thing. He doing his yellow thing. His quirk.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening. Yeah. Right. So I believe that kind of happened along the way too. Now, she dropped this video, which got 500,000 views. It's crazy.
Yeah.
She dropped this video, 57 and broke. She's sitting outside of her car, and it's raining. And I mean, it's raining hard. Like, it's raining hard in this video.
The way you emphasized that was
it was like an ASMR video.
It was. The raindrops was hitting doop, but the doop, 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 but the doop, 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 doop.
When it rains, it pours face ass.
Oh man! God, right. So the fact that, you know what I'm saying,
that's hilarious.
Now, it's me not being a believer like that. She also mentioned in the beginning that God told her not to do this.
Jesus Christ.
God told her not to do this. Similar to the preacher's wife who God told not to get the BBL. But guess who jumped on the plane and when he got a BBL anyway? And it almost feels like those raindrops was God like, yep, do, yep, doop, 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 yep, see, yep, doop, do 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 do, because that's all you heard in the background was them raindrops.
Man.
So she's sitting out of her car on lunch, doing this video about how her dream to become Tyler Perry's newest sensation in Atlanta fell through. And how she had quit her job with all the security. Like, I think it was she's 50 and she had been at that job for a while. Like, she had all types of equity. Yeah. She just quit.
At 54, just quit.
It was at 50 or 54?
At 54.
I think she's been on this for like 3 years. Yeah, I think she was in like
54. I thought she said 50. All right. So 3-4 years. Oh man, so she that was gonna be wrong.
Ready to hit that. Yeah.
Let's not say that one. We're not gonna say that one. But
okay.
Self-censor. Yeah, that was gonna be bad. But I can think it. It's crazy that she's out there now and she's like, yeah, I thought these dreams was gonna happen. And it's not to say don't chase your dreams.
Depends on the dream.
Yeah, like her wanting to become an actress ain't out the realm.
It's not unreasonable.
I can see her playing a certain type of role.
Yeah, there are roles for people that look like her.
Yeah.
That are her age. Absolutely.
Yeah. There's some age appropriate roles for her.
Yeah. Start with a commercial though.
Yeah, please start with a commercial. Find an acting gig where you're at first. Like, cause she wasn't like, yeah, I did a couple commercials and then I moved to Atlanta. It was like, I want to be an actress. I quit, bitch. I'm out. It was like you didn't even get your feet wet. You didn't even try to learn how to swim. You
get
just
in the Jardines commercial.
Right. Getting the Jardines.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna make that much if you just starting your acting career and to be quitting your job. You're not gonna be making that much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We just
gonna be getting little extra little spots.
Right. You just coming up, G.
And there are known actors and actresses that are talking about they struggle with money. Like they got names.
Right. Taraji P. Henson was just on the panels last year crying.
Yeah.
After she did a movie with Oprah. She did an Oprah production.
Elgin got a job at Trader Joe's. Elgin started bagging groceries. The dude from the Cosby Show.
Yeah. Who was that? It was the guy who played Homicide.
She eating a Abilify.
Yeah, give us free. Give us free.
That Jaimin Hudson.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he was just on there talking about how he been underpaid most of his career, and we know him from a whole movie. He got a whole movie that we just give us a free.
She was gonna get rich off of Abilify and osteoporosis mid commercial.
Yeah.
Right.
She could do some AARP. She could do a bunch of stuff.
She will fit really well in like some like medication.
Like I could see her doing the whole walking through the grocery store, like shopping while the dude is in the background reading the side effects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's what
she would eat down.
Yeah.
You do that. Then you parlay that to you know what I'm saying? A role in like a Ion show. Like, what's a show that's on Ion? Or
she might be able to get a Tubi gig or something.
Or a Tubi movie. Yeah.
There's a bunch of things. But get that first little $1,500 little check
right.
for five lines. I got 5 lines in this thing and I got $1,500. Do that first.
Yeah.
I do that first.
But then everybody who was telling her she couldn't, I need support. That's what triggered me the most about this video.
Yeah.
Is in the spaces what people call support, even in relationship talks, what people call support. I just want you to support me.
Mm-hmm.
It be stuff like this. They be you in psychosis. Something wrong with you. And you want me to support it. Support is like sit and listen to me say dumb shit and then don't do anything to ground me in reality. That's support.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Fixed credit commercial. She'll be great for that.
Yeah, she'd be good for that.
Going back to school at my age, I thought it'd be difficult, but I went to this program.
What's that college?
Education
Little
connection.
Romeo. What was the one?
ICDC.
Little Romeo. ICDC.
Yeah, listen.
ICDC.
There's a bunch of things she would fit so well in.
Yeah.
And local commercials, she would eat in local commercials. She could be at the library for whatever the library is there, the library system.
Yeah. She
Man,
could be
she
awesome on Blippi working in the library or something.
Man, there's stuff that she could do just based off her look.
Yeah.
But start there. Like, figure out a way with your wherever you are to act in some things enough to supplement your income.
Right. Why
Because
you
if you
quit
can supplement
the
your
whole
income wherever you
job?
are, why would you quit the whole job?
Is
Not
this
the
a
security.
midlife crisis? Just late?
Oh boy.
Is this a you can do anything?
Yes.
You can do anything. You set your mind to, queen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it because she okay? I'm gonna make a low blow. Is it because she light skinned?
Ooh,
Probably so.
Might be main character energy.
Probably so.
Big man character energy. Cause girl, what the fuck?
That's messed up. I used to think I was not light skinned, but she's my color.
Yeah, she is your color.
Very much so. She's like she could be my auntie.
Yeah. I also don't like people saying God kept telling them. God told me not to do it. God told me not to do it. God told me not to do it. I did it. The creator of the fucking universe, girl, stepped in and was like, I don't think you should do this.
I don't think they believe in God. I think they believe in a voice. Like,
but you decided it was God, and the creator of the universe tell you shouldn't.
That's
do
what I don't
something.
understand.
Like, I'm gonna take my chances if he really is the creator of the fucking universe.
Shaped heaven and earth.
He shaped heaven. He's shaping your life right now.
Right.
Ordered your steps before you were born. Knew you before you were in your parents' womb.
And he was like, "Yeah, girl, I don't think
Don't do this." I think I know a little. Why don't you just sit over there on your little cloud, on your little cloud, and go over there and help Bree? Why don't you go help Bree? I'm gonna do this, and if I need you, I'll call you.
Right.
I don't understand why he's putting me through this.
Right. This is it. Then she ended all of that with like this. I know he got me. I know I'm protected.
No, he don't. He don't.
Not no more. Not no more. Cause you ain't listening.
You out here. You on your own.
Decided to go to other. Have you not read the Bible? They're literally.
He did, but
if you decide to do what he say, you got to go outside where he ain't at no more.
Yeah, you got put in with whoever was the ruling power, the Persians, the Babylonians. You got swallowed up. They got swallowed every time. Y'all did the king. If the king's disobedient, they got swallowed up. Now you your own king. So if you're disobedient, God gonna let you get swallowed up by whoever.
I know God's got me. No, he don't.
Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed?
She doesn't criticize. She just prays for me. Stop calling that nigga phone. God blocked you because you was out at his house last week. That's why he ain't answer your call. You gonna get your friend to call him on three-way?
Yeah, I need you to intercede for me.
She downloaded text now.
Yeah, you trying to hit God up from a private number. He already told your ass don't call him no more.
The
don't listen.
The number you have dialed is no longer interest. The following tone is for the
Hey girl, can you call this number for me? I think he got me blocked. You sitting there praying for her like a goofball. I'm not praying for your ass. Shut up.
God done turned into that one friend to just say through the whole conversation.
That's
and then you get tired of that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Why you ain't saying nothing back? And then they're like, nah, just why you ain't saying nothing back? Listen, every time I give you advice, you don't take it. So I ain't giving you advice no more.
You're ass cold. Just in there talking to God. I'll text Jesus for me, girl. He ain't answering.
Man, listen.
I know he hear me. I just
but
he's too old.
He ain't been on in 3 days.
But listen, can I propose?
I ain't seen them.
That she outsmarted all of us. Can I propose? Because she black girl magicked us. She is an actress. None of this is real.
If this is her,
And she's
her
got
thing,
500,000 views.
if this her way to
Pretending.
get Tyler Perry to see her, and she come out and be like, it was all an act. Tyler Perry hired me for your movie. I'd be like, nah,
No,
that's
I don't
what I
think
call marketing.
No, not even telling anybody it was an act. Just grifted. Just good old fashioned. I'm a victim grifting.
I mean, potentially. I mean, I thought you was gonna say this was her. Now that would have been.
This ain't her audition.
This was her
That
audition.
would be deep and that would be meta. I would like that, but I don't. It's easier to grift. It's much easier to grift.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, you play victim on the internet and get a whole new house. I mean, it's people who, like I told y'all, they got the homeless people TikTok where they living in their car, they be on TikTok and they raise enough money to get a place or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a whole thing. I hate that we reward it, but I guess she needed help, so she'll say God helped her, not the people who gave her money.
Right.
I just hate it so much.
She'll make another bad decision.
Because when do you become the problem? I don't see people getting older and wiser.
No, they're not. They're not.
They're just getting older and stupider. With
They're
new
just staying the
stupid
same.
shit to do.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like, what made you just wake up and I'm gonna be an actress in Atlanta?
It was her lifetime dream. I just think there's a smarter way to pursue your dream after a certain time.
Girl, you missed it. How about you missed it? You chose something else.
And that window closed.
Right.
No, we had several roles for her. We cast her in about 20 roles in like 3 minutes.
She ain't quitting her job off of Billify commercials.
That window, I'm talking about the window she thought she was finna climb in.
Oh, like to be Angela Bassett? Yeah.
That window closed, nailed down, got bars in it. Probably a pit bull in that room too. So if you in there,
but you said Black Girl Magic. Maybe that's the whole problem. Like, people really don't feel like people really believe they can be anything they want to be.
Yeah.
I like. Why is this up here? Why is this up here? Why did you put this up here? Don't do this.
That was a punctuation.
Don't do this.
People think they can be anything they want to be.
This has no relevance to anything I just said. That has no relevance.
It's a different.
She is Serena Williams. She already is who she was gonna be. She's already there. She's past it.
As far as career, that's one thing. But as far as being who you want to be,
she is, because you could definitely tell her she's like, I am not defined by tennis.
Right.
I mean,
I
she
got
did a lot of stuff. She did a lot of stuff. I don't know why Serena is up here for this. Like
you're missing the point. Yeah, you're missing the point.
You're hating. That's what it feels like. You're hating.
I mean, she actually look good, so I'll be kind of conflicted looking at this.
You just like to see her muscles jiggle. That's all.
You like
Jizzle figures
working. That's what I was like. He just really likes seeing her muscles jiggle.
That's like quad, baby. That's
all it is. Right. Anyway, but yeah, I don't see these people getting older and wiser at all. I just see them just getting older and more ridiculous and delusional and finding a community of people to help their delusions.
Yeah. We don't have a proper village. I know we overuse that term. We don't have a group of people that we are accountable to anymore and that are accountable to us. We don't have that body of people in a consistent state. A friend, family, coworker group that is consistent enough that we can have that shared accountability, which is necessary for people to develop in all the aspects.
And when people have it, they don't listen to them anyway. They just start saying,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, everybody ain't got to understand your dream. Some people too low to see the giraffe necks, whatever they be saying. Whatever Tyler Perry be saying.
But I think the economy is going to push people back into you, because you're going to need with the way the economy is going, people are going to start needing consistent, reliable people that can service in relationship to each other.
Pro-laminate marriages.
The trust and the reliability.
I don't think we going back.
Trump, just kidding, kicked the president of Ukraine, Zelensky out of the White House. They said just kidding.
Like, did he do it though? He don't fuck with.
I got a feeling he really did it, because they just had a problem.
I'm about to say, because he really don't fuck. He rebuked him in the White House.
Yeah, it was weird. They've been
Yeah, they don't really fuck with him. He need to go home.
Yeah, I believe that because they were having some kind of problem because Trump's been like saying some goofy stuff, and Zelensky they can't
need
come
to go
to an agreement.
home. Right.
Yeah.
Just Zelensky, call it a day.
Cool.
Head on out, bro. Just head on out.
Yeah. Trump ain't got nothing for you. Trump is not helping. Trump is not. Trump is like, do not come. Yeah.
Just go home.
He's
bro. It's like when you get that
he's
new manager who don't fuck with you, you be like, trying to go put in some applications somewhere else.
And he friends with the bully. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he love Putin. He love him some Putin.
Might as well.
Yeah. I mean,
Might as well. We're all fucked. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's right.
But the village thing, I think people will get pushed into it, but I don't think we going back. I think
it's not
gonna be. I think the women are gonna be doing the lavender marriages and blah blah blah, and the men will rediscover roommates.
Yeah.
Under the one guy was like, "Oh, if I could marry my friend, but we wouldn't have sex." Everybody was like, "You mean like a roommate?" Just a roommate.
Yeah.
It's just a roommate. Why did you make it weird?
There's this post where a dude rediscovered hanging out. He was like, I wish we could do like a podcast, but like we all got together in real life and maybe like have some food and maybe play some games or something. It was like, you mean like hanging out? It was so funny. Yeah, but I just think we're gonna have to a lot of us reform them online and develop new connections of people that we can collab with and trust. But like, I think we need that in real life. And I think, again, circumstances, because they're not as bad as they're going to get. Like, I think circumstances will push people together in a necessity way, because that's what had people cohesive in the past. That's what even like to the New Deal on the national level, and Black people going through slavery and Reconstruction. Necessity pushes people into, like, again, we talk about hypergamy and women being married and arranged marriages. All that stuff was kind of necessity. Well, we want to get out of this circumstance because we're poor. We sell our daughter to old dude, and now we got more land or something. Necessity is going to bring about a new version of old systems.
Do you think men have a good alternative, like how women have found their lavender marriages? Because I know men don't have an equal, because lesbians ain't gonna link up with y'all like this.
No, even the lavender marriages are the best thing for y'all. But I think y'all landed on that out of necessity because women don't even like each other. Like, most of y'all can't even get along. So y'all realize that the only people that really get is a straight woman living with like a gay man.
Married to a gay man. They get married. In real life, they're full. They get married and they live together and they split bills, and they may even do when it's time to have a kid. They may actually do it with in vitro or whatever.
Okay.
And they have a kid together, but they just have separate sexual lives.
Yeah. I think that's like the most comfortable one for Black women would be that, because I think gay men are probably the last bastion of people who idealize the woman in that way.
Okay.
That makes y'all feel comfortable. Like, okay. I mean, because the validating the firm. I think there's a need for validation and affirmation.
Yeah.
And I can't say that it's a bad need. It's just girl, yeah. Oh, you said all that stuff y'all need.
They be speaking our love language. They know.
Yeah. So I think that's the only suitable place for y'all. And I don't know that we can find something the same because our conditioning. Because dudes cannot, for the sake of a better word, dudes cannot fall into the arms of another dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't be each other's safety net. Like, the trust fall it's too gay coded. Like, there's no safety in dudes.
That's why I was like, and y'all ain't finna be rocking with the lesbians like that.
No.
And they ain't finna come rock with y'all like that.
Nope.
Huh?
So if we did the trust fall, bro, you wouldn't catch me?
And nah, he not catching you.
I would
not in public.
You, but I'm just saying that socially. Like, so now this
is into the ground immediately.
Gotta make sure
this language is from another podcast. I'm not speaking. I'm not speaking in absolutes. I'm speaking in totality, Yellow. So I would 100%. Catch you. Yeah, I would catch you. I would catch you. I'm not speaking in absolutes. I'm speaking in totality. So no, I'm not speaking for myself and our specific dynamic, but I'm speaking in general. Men do not feel safe being vulnerable with other men for other men like that.
That's what I was gonna say, because it seemed like more men were just room with other single men, but they don't even really happen like that.
It's not happening.
Because I know Tom Holland was talking about that, like how he and a few friends before he like really blew up. It was just 3 dudes living together.
Yeah.
And today they decided they was gonna do it until they was a certain age.
Yeah. There's something that keeps dudes over a certain age from doing that.
Yeah. It's cool. Probably cool when you're younger. Yeah, the guys just have some shit like that.
I think they decided they was gonna do it until they were like 30.
Yeah. You get to
I think the social expectation of you having a woman is too hard to overcome. I think that's just too.
But something like that'd be cute. Like they just agreed we gonna live, it's gonna be the homies until we 30. Even if you get a girlfriend.
But like you said, until we're 30. But a lot of people are still having economic problems past 30 now. So most people end up moving back to their parents because it's easier to stomach. It's easier to stomach. I had to move back in with my parents socially, on a social level.
Yeah.
Like than it is me and a bunch of dudes are living together. Because nobody's going to accuse me of being gay for going to live with my mom. I'll be a beta. I'll be soft. I'll be weak. But me,
we gotta come up with a rebranding for it, like Lavender Marriage. We need to come up with a name for it.
No, that's what y'all do. It doesn't. There's no cute name.
We can't do something for the bro alliance, the Avengers. Like y'all can't come up with nothing.
We have to get over the fear. We have to get over the fear of being called gay.
Yeah.
If we could get over the fear of being called gay into our 30s, 40s, 50s, if we could get over some of the homophobia, we could do more stuff for each other. But there's still too much like female centering, like everything is about chasing a woman, and there's too much male othering that we do because like what we call patriarchy.
Y'all don't like each other either.
Yeah. No, we actually do
marriage.
Dude,
I know men like each other.
Yeah, we like each other.
Do it under the guise of like a gaming esports team. Whatever y'all got to do. We an esports team. We stay at the house so we practice all the time. Y'all got to come up with something.
Yeah. Like some people that are true friends. People that are true friends can pull it off, but it's after a certain age, man, people start looking at you funny.
Yeah, D&D guild.
A lot of niggas hitting 30 though. A lot of niggas hitting 30. Like it's just time for Duke to move out. Duke ain't in the house with them, right?
Right. Call them guild. Y'all need to call it a guild.
Duke the only one over 30. He ain't in the house with them.
Yeah. I don't know. Once you hit 30, man, stuff changes. It's the social expectation of you pairing off with a woman and centering your life around her and the kids that are to come. I think that program is too deep for us to see any changes in men in the next 15 years.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of the young influencers are doing it already. They have the influencer houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. We need regular guy houses.
I think we get to a certain age, like we can get like an influencer apartment building.
Yeah, that'd be cute. Just something.
Like, that'll be
the duplex.
The duplex.
The Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Right, the Dojo Casa House. Right. Y'all need the duplex or something. Y'all need.
Sounds good though.
Yeah,
because that's separate residence.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you got a place that got mine. But we put this whole thing together.
Man, that'd be cute. Y'all need some. Of like 4,000 square foot house be having a lot of space.
Yeah.
I mean,
and dudes for real do not require the most.
Right.
So like honestly, if dudes are really in a crunch, we could have, if there was one room that everybody used as a closet, the other 4 dudes could sleep on a pallet on the floor. The only reason that doesn't work is when you're pursuing women. That's just inadequate if you want women. So a lot of the things that drive men and keeps that behavior from being sustainable, men living together, is the pursuit of women. Because you still live with these roommates, you still, once you get to a certain age, it's no longer acceptable.
Because that's what RDC does. I think they still kind of have a house where they all like convene, and now that they're older, they all have separate places too.
Yep.
But for the longest, they all live together.
Yeah, younger is different, and it's a different generation. Like my generation.
That's why I was like, I think it's really a generational thing. Because in my head, it just was got to be done. It's too many people on the streets or homeless. Because at the same, but like the alternative for a lot of people is you can't afford it alone. It's like, well, that definitely ain't helping you get hoes either. So, I mean, shit, do what you got to do to at least be comfortable.
Yeah. Like, okay, that same 57 and broke, a dude making that video is just not gonna hit the same.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
Because a lot of
Take your
men
job.
be
What was you thinking?
Yeah.
goofball.
Yeah.
No.
Like, you ain't fine enough to be quitting your job, lady. Sorry.
Yo, she not
Because
wrong.
if you
Damn.
you can sell
I know.
pussy, you wouldn't be.
I mean, there's always a lane though. Like there's. I was gonna say is some movies you want to do. If it's acting, you're looking to do.
That
You're in
is,
Atlanta.
unfortunately, it's always an option. That's true.
I mean, in essence, that's what it is. Even if you're not a lady of the night by title officially, the way most
Yeah.
people move, that's in essence your asking price. The Kendra G show is a madam
Yeah. That's bartering.
trafficking out
I can't
product
stand you.
for money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
like they're not
To
in
get
a
this
brothel.
puss, I gotta be able to travel. You gotta have 6 figures.
I mean, they're not in a brothel, and
Yeah.
she's not. The Johns aren't handing her the money directly,
Yeah.
but now she has them on a dating app, which is basically a
Yep.
brothel,
Mhm. I
and
hear
she
you.
makes money from it. I mean,
Dang.
Porn category.
Dang, Bree.
I mean,
You're not wrong. Again, we've been saying this for a minute. It's interesting.
yeah,
I don't really think
prostitution.
about that with Kendra G being the madam. That's hilarious, but it's funny.
This next hoe up,
It's the
come
most
on,
popular
girl.
category.
Kendra Cam. She's only
So it's the most-
$100,000 a year. Huh?
It's the
Oh shoot! This next hoe
check this out.
up. Oh shoot!
It's the most popular category. It's
What's
the most popular category.
Oh boy.
Who
The
is
most
it?
popular search. Yep.
I thought I looked at
The most popular.
those ones, and it wasn't it. I know that's not it for
popular-
women. You mean for men?
I mean, just period.
I didn't hear the
Maybe it
category.
is. MILF.
Oh,
The
MILF.
hub.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the mature.
the hub.
They like the
yeah,
MILFs like that? I wouldn't have thought it would have been MILFs.
I thought I saw the stats on Pornhub. I thought it was different. I thought it was 18, but
No, I was like,
I'm
I
about
thought
to
it
look
would
it
be like the 18.
I'm looking at it right here.
Ain't no way, boy.
Pornhub
What
Insights.
site?
Let me see.
X2. What
Top searches.
website?
Sure, they ain't no
Popular
categories on.
categories. There we go.
MILF, huh? That's great. I mean, most people are moms.
I mean,
But she ain't got MILF energy. But I didn't pick up that she probably was a lesbian. But you're right. She a lesbian. It's never too
Yeah,
late.
stud
though.
milf.
But she not really the kind of stud people.
that is the second most searched term of 2024. That's
not
crazy.
hentai.
That's crazy.
Hentai is the most term. MILF is the second most term. Most popular category.
Not
is
average
MILF.
age of visitor is
Average
38.
age. Yep. Most searched video game.
Oh, not the middle-aged man who hates his life age.
Dang.
Most popular day of the week to watch is Mondays at 11 p.m. Everybody hates Mondays.
Yep.
Well, why would you say the
Look,
least
the
popular
least
day is
popular
Tuesday at
popular-
5 a.m.?
6 hours. 6
6
hours
hours
later.
after the most popular day? I mean, they probably
have
all
to-
done.
Because you've already busted fucking ass.
6 hours earlier.
That's crazy.
That's
Wow,
not
the U.S. has
clear. That's
the
why
most
y'all
by
need to
far.
make
Jesus
it 6
Christ.
hours later.
Time to log out before work.
That's wild.
Time to log off before work. Had a long day ahead of me. That's
Okay. So our three states, the top relative searches. I hate this, but in Illinois, you got ASMR role play. That's interesting.
Y'all, is that okay?
Now, mine is the worst. Mine is
That's
absolutely
women. That's
worst.
women. That's women.
In Ohio, it's cuckold.
Sounds about
I
right.
hate that. Oof. And in Georgia, it's ebony homemade.
Sounds right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The Illinois being the ASMR role play, that's women. So the women, them Illinois women, different.
Yeah, them broad shoulders, boy.
Yeah, they got the broad shoulder and manly tendencies. I guess.
Yeah, let's go.
They be on the hub for the ASMR role play. Do men watch? I feel like men ain't watching it. There's not some shit men finna be watching. Listening to.
It depends on what the ASMR is, because some of the ASMR could probably definitely enhance the experience, but it depends on what is this the random ASMR? That ear sucking thing? Now listen.
He like that. I can't stand nobody smacking in my ear. That shit drives me crazy.
Yeah, them sounds. I'm like, okay. I see what y'all doing there. At first I thought it was stupid. I saw it on Twitch. I'm like, this is dumb. What y'all sucking ears for? Now look, I turned it on. I was like, oh, okay. I see.
I mean, women have a whole app for it.
My bad. So click this next.
Oh, Arkansas. Let me see. My bad.
Something.
I'm
family.
scared to know.
Give me a second.
Cornfield.
Whoa.
Cousin.
They don't have it on here. They do not have it on here.
Cousin.
Because they've got some states.
Billy Goats.
Colorado is foot job.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Wyoming is homegrown.
Not homegrown.
Iowa's work trip. Missouri is grandma. Jesus Christ.
What?
But Nebraska and Arkansas are not there.
What?
Oklahoma's not there.
The lore behind. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. That's the highest category in Missouri.
Hey, Washington is milking.
I'm sure they mean humans.
Yeah, I'm sure
that makes sense. Yeah. That lines up. Yeah, that lines.
Both of those actually line up.
California is Fran's mom.
Nova would say that. Yeah, that man.
Yeah. Tennessee is chubby MILF.
Yeah.
But then you get to West Virginia, it's fat woman. So by the time you move northeast from Tennessee, from chubby MILF, you get to West Virginia a couple states away, and you done fit to a fat woman.
Don't even matter. Just kidding now.
Why is Missouri's most searched? What is this search for category? Oh, grandma.
District of Columbia is riding. Connecticut might be the one of the weirdest. Queef is Connecticut.
I'm never going to fucking Connecticut.
Oh no, New Hampshire beat them. Enema. Oh my God!
I always knew only weirdos stayed out that way. Because what's in New Hampshire?
Christ.
Have you ever met anybody from New Hampshire?
What's enemas?
Nah, have you
Jesus
ever?
Christ.
Okay, ChatGPT has given me a reason.
What's it say?
Okay. They said it's hilarious. Missouri has a lot of rural areas and strong emphasis on traditional family structures. Sometimes suppressed desires or cultural taboos lead to more forbidden interests. Older women might represent a mix of nurturing and experience, which can be appealing in a state with strong familial connections.
Okay.
Missouri has median age that's slightly above national average, and people often develop preferences based on what they're familiar with.
That's fair and Freudian. I like it.
There's an ongoing theory that people in more conservative religious areas often have more taboo or extreme kinks. Missouri sits in the Bible Belt, and when certain things are heavily suppressed, they can manifest in unexpected ways. And then it just says, it could be a bias or inaccurate skewed results.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, there you have it.
Maine has Harry Bush.
Also makes sense.
Makes sense, right?
Why do all of these make sense? Why is it Queef in Connecticut though?
I don't know. I don't know. I wish the other states were filled in. Yeah. Some of them made super. I mean, Nevada for some reason the top search was Vegas. Arizona had Navajo. Like some of the stuff makes too much sense.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And the other Futa Hentai in Minnesota is Futa Hentai. I don't know what Futa Hentai is, but Futa.
I'm scared to type that in my Google search. I'm just scared.
Yeah, that's us.
No, I'm not gonna type
it. Flag something.
Wisconsin is P. I want to pee on you.
Wow. I'm judging everybody. Anybody who come from these states. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, mine ain't that. Illinois ain't that bad thing. Role play.
It wasn't that bad. Role play ASMR.
But for people who said Atlanta wasn't a hub for Black culture, the porn results.
Ebony Homemade.
You're wrong.
Wow.
Even
homemade
the
too. Y'all don't want a high production
right.
value. Y'all want homemade. No, I want this homegrown.
They said this where the blacks come from. That's what they want.
Blacks.
You come to Atlanta for that. That's all. The blacks. Yeah.
The blacks.
So, no, that was a funny conversation.
Nah, that was dope. That's a good way to end it.
Yes.
We always
Good
end up with
combo.
some mess.
Always goes back to butt stuff.
It do. Arkansas is wide open. Yeah, y'all. I don't know why it doesn't have all the states filled in, but
They probably like, we can't put this on the internet. Y'all don't want to know. Just assume it's here. Because they on the dark web. That's probably why.
Yeah.
You probably can't even find it in Arkansas.
Because Indiana, it's probably goats. Because it gets grayed out.
See?
Thanks. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to Greg Bryan, Beef Curtains.
Right. If it's not showing up, it's probably dark web.
Texas is grayed out.
Oh,
something big.
Yeah,
it's too big to. It's too. The text is too big to get a reading.
Or too illegal.
Yeah.
One of the. Maybe it's illegal. Who knows?
Yeah, it's probably illegal. They don't want people looking for it.
Yeah. All right, y'all, man. I enjoyed it. I appreciate y'all's contributions to the conversation, man. I was curious about what y'all's take on it would be. It was very sensible, very reasonable. I'm glad we did talk about it, though, because the colorism thing, I feel like it's going to bubble up more. I think a lot of these in-group divisions are going to bubble up more, and the black people really don't have the language or the capacity right now to
but I say it's not in-group. That's the whole thing.
Well, I mean, within the racial in-group, there are tribes of differential, and I think we have to reconcile that. I think that's something we've struggled with, and I think last year proved it. Like, who's us? And I think there's more who's usness that we need to figure out. And are we going to? I like your perspective on it. Like, there's different experiences within blackness, and they're all fine, as opposed to you need my flavor of blackness. There's a lot of people like, you're not black unless you're my flavor of black. Like my cultural temperament. So I don't know. I just think it's a interesting conversation, man. Glad I had it with y'all, man. I don't know when we'll be back. So I hope all of y'all take care, be good, and see y'all soon.
Who the fuck are you? Excuse me. I only debate my equals. All others I teach.
Need all the hundreds and fifties, let's get it. I'm with the shit, so let's get it. Killing it, leaving that body, no weddings. Rockstar like I'm Lenny Kravitz.
You have cooned so bad, my brother, that they damn near need to put your face in the dictionary next to the word coon. And I don't mean no disrespect, my brother. White man play you like he play Sega. He play you, this is you. He ain't even got to be in the hood. He got this. He played Negroes like this. But they not speaking up against your oppression. I wish another coon, boot-licking, shut-jiving Uncle Tom will get in my face talking about we need to be patient.
We gotta sweat. Y'all don't want to sweat. Y'all don't want to sweat. Y'all just want to be comfortable.
It's none of your concern. You don't have the right to ask me where I've been. You don't have the right to know what I was doing. You messed up, and I took a break. And guess what? The next time you mess up, I'm going to take another break.